Sorry, did you say that was per session or per combat?
Per session.
Okay, that's cool. I will just do that now.
So now that all hate speech for myself is out the way, and I've vented, and I've had my therapy session for the week, and we've gone over Michael's outrageous financial fraud, we can now start the session.
He's not defrauding them.
Well,
They're
it's
defrauding
funny.
themselves.
It's actually really funny because when the guy from PayPal said they have no legal recourse to claim that money back, I said, "Are you 100% certain? Because if this erroneously refunded £12,000 that is currently sat in my account, that definitely wasn't mine, cannot be claimed, as unethical and immoral as it is, I would quite like to keep it."
Well, why wouldn't you like to keep it?
Exactly.
I assume they get what you're. They get that sentiment. You know,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Anyway, before we ruin your legal case in front of YouTube, let's. It's been. I don't think Lochner and Nameless have actually left the keep. You guys have been past week. You've been basically holding down the fort, making sure everything's going well. Nameless, have you been working on your harem at all in the meantime?
My little hobby. It's like painting in real life.
Cool. I shall have a body there and a body there. Okay, cool. So, you pretty much, in terms of Lucius has scoured, and you have like several men, women lined up, you know, and each morning you've been doing like a roll call, picking like one or two of them out. But to get the high end stuff for your harem, you're going to need maybe 1,000 gold to get what you want, to get what you need, in terms of your luxurious benches and rugs and incense and things like that. Even braziers, like low hanging braziers, you know, yeah, with like the finest ox horns and things like that, all cost money. Lucius has offered to go and acquire these funds for you.
Like he has a choice.
You mean he's going to sell his body for me?
He might do that. Yes.
Okay.
We'll start the session there. Like you're on the steps of, if you can see outside of the keep here. One sec. There you go. So you're on these steps here, as you can see, and Lucius is basically just he basically runs it by you as you're stretching in the morning, doing your morning stretches like fucking He-Man. He says, I can get who would you like? Any particular flavors? Any particular, you know? I've heard accents are in vogue at the moment in harems. Like people with specific accents. What would you like? I will source the money from somewhere.
I mean, just the most exotic that you can get, I guess. And as long as they're naturally beautiful, that would be good. Thank you.
Okay, so roll a d20 for me and see how beautiful the ones you've already got are.
Oh, they better be beautiful. If I've got heifers...
You have 5. You have 5 at the moment. Let's see. Yeah, troglodytes. Yeah, troglodytes at the moment. So, the women you've got are basically the better looking wenches from the local tavern. Down in... basically, they were the wenches from Brindle's... From Brindle's X Inn. And a lot of them, you know, flitty nose, and we've seen them talking quite a lot. So yeah, and you've got
As
long as they know their profession, I guess.
Well, you've got a sinking feeling they're using you for the rent. I mean, you know, you do have nice beds, of course. Yes, my darling, she is still pregnant. That's not how pregnancy works. No, she's no longer pregnant.
How it works. I mean,
it'll work however I want it to work. So he scuttles off down the steps to go and find some funds for you to go and acquire some more females and some more men. He walks past the 4 girls who are angling around. One more is still asleep, but there's 4 angling around, and he just starts speaking to them and giving them orders and things, and they just like roll their eyes at him as he moves away. So you can see Lochner coming out of the bearded clam. Just, you know.
Hang on, is that you?
I think it is.
Ish.
And he's like patting himself down as he sees Lucius walk past. What are you up to, Lockney? What have you been doing the past week? Because just for the sake of the context, Arden and Androcles are not back from their sojourn into the mountains just yet.
Right. What have I been doing? Weren't we meant to go and clear out those bandits?
You are going to do that, I was assuming, this session.
Right.
So instead of making that little side thing for you and Nameless, I've just woven it into a big old session, so you can do it now.
Okay. Yeah, then if the wall still needs, actually, so what I need to do is go and get some money to pay off the
Yeah.
the guys that we promised.
Cover your debts. Yeah.
I better go and find where the money's hidden. I better ask Nameless, where's the money hidden?
Oh, I couldn't possibly know. It's in the harem bank. I mean, it's next to Thingy's mother's, like, dead invisible elf lady's grave.
Yeah. But I never went there.
Even though she's still alive.
We still think she's invisible corpse?
I mean, I think this lady's an imposter, but we'll get to that. Yeah, I mean, I can take us there. That's cool. I mean, we could do it on the way to the encampment thing, can't we?
Yeah, that's going to be. Yep. Or on the way back, really. I don't really fancy going into a fight with a load of gold.
I don't know. Stuff to throw at them.
We can leave a trail, of gold coins. And then
Do a trap with a box.
Aha!
And a little stick.
Yeah. Well, don't be stupid. A big stick.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
She's got to fit under the box.
Does.
So the Outlander barony right now, if we're looking at the, it's the same things last time that I showed you. So obviously, 15 Castellan guards left, 41 men at arms, 30 of which are normal men at arms. You have 9 archers and 2 elite soldiers. Okay, and you have 44 untrained fighters. They're basically labourers right now. So they're helping Lochnia rebuild the walls. That's been going pretty well. They lead back up to where they were. In trade, you have an agreement to help rebuild Cale Bridge, but that's all gone, isn't it? That's all gone by the by now.
Well, we were making the agreement with the guy, the thief guy, or the.
Yeah, he is on his way, but there were nothing set in stone just yet. So, in taxes, nothing. No. You have a little bit incoming, so we'll do that now. So you have 4,720 gold pieces stashed away in the not dead mother's grave, and in terms of outgoing, you have 200 gold per week going to Ahern, in terms of tribute, and incoming you have 50 plus D20 from your holdings, but we're putting that down to D6. So 50 plus D6, because your earning potential has been slashed quite a bit.
Real quick, what happened with what we did that first week when we sent all the troops up north to help kind of rebuild that and start working on getting taxes from up north?
They'll be returning this week.
Okay, cool.
They should be this session when they return. So at the moment you're on minus 350 gold per week. So your new deal is 1/4 of wealth from Grailwood. You're getting 250 from that a week. It's still quite a bit, but nowhere near as much as you were getting. And you're 350 in the hole per week. You've got a long time until that runs out, of course. But if you need to buy anything else, you're going to be up against it a little bit. You're paying 200 gold per week in terms of wages to all of your men, all lumped in together.
Okay.
I'm going to send you this, actually. 1 second. Let me just go on the... Talk amongst yourselves, of course.
We should all remain perfectly silent as he tells us to talk amongst ourselves.
Exactly. It happens every time. I don't know what it is with this group. Like every other group I've ever done is like, oh my god, it's free time to talk. This group is like, let's do the opposite of what he's saying. Oh.
We're enforcing a vow of silence whenever you're not, whenever the god of this group is not present in the room.
Oh.
So the world can't exist without your
Somebody
actions.
must have gotten some nice things in the last session,
I mean,
which we'll get to.
This world doesn't exist without your direct input. So,
I suppose.
just saying,
Suppose you got a point.
we're just frozen in time.
Shouldn't look at it that way. The world is always going on. It always needs, it's always going on the outside. So, week 2, we did your incoming letters there. That's all done and dusted. We don't need to go about that. Unless you want to send some letters out, that's fine. Week 3, you have letters here. Some of them haven't been replied to. Quite a lot of them haven't been replied to be honest. So, amongst yourselves, what do you want to do? Obviously, Arden and... In fact, let's roleplay Arden and Androcles getting back. So, through the mountains, Arden and Androcles, you finally come through with your men, your 10 men. And...
Definitely wearing the armor.
Oh, yeah.
100%. 100% wearing the armor.
Dragon tooth under my arm. It's on display.
Oh, you put spots on my armor for trophies, so that shit's hanging.
Okay.
I got a dragon tooth on each shoulder.
Okay.
So,
if you can find me a picture of the armor, that'd be great.
find a very spiky armor.
And
I know it's exactly what it is. Hold on.
okay, so
The excitement.
You have to play Monster Hunter if for nothing else than for the armor sets, I think, and the weapons.
It's on PC, so no.
It is on PC.
it is on PC.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying it sucks on PC.
Oh.
I've got it on PC. I hate it.
Oh, why? I play with controller.
It's clunky as fuck. Pardon my language. Sorry, I'm
Alright.
pretty ranty about this.
I play it with a controller on PC right now.
Yeah, I just
Anyway.
didn't get on with it.
Anyway, returning
carry
to... So, Leander, who is the boy, jumps down from the walls and immediately runs over to your Nameless and just starts shouting about dragons and like gold and all a million different things at once. Like he's just really super excited. Like he's like there was a dragon and it died and Uncle Androcles killed it. Like he's like smashed it like and he's like doing all of the motions with his arms. He's like, ugh! And he's like just fighting in midair.
So I'll just call across to Androcles and say, "Can you get your brat under control, please?"
I'm just gonna wave. Wait, because I've got the helmet and everything on, so
Okay.
I'm like full up armored.
Yeah, he's wearing stuff you've never seen him in before, basically. I'm sure he'll get us a picture in a
Call
minute.
him a ponce.
I think he's just jealous.
So, Arden, you were also in the room as well? You were also there?
Riding up.
Where did I
next
actually
to them.
see?
Yeah, like showing off that dragon tooth, waiting for someone to notice it.
You can deliberately ignore it.
It's
While she's like deliberately angling her neck.
It's like, it's about... have you got it on a necklace or something?
I just kind of like have it resting there, but I'm not like I'm just like keeping it there. I'm not putting it away.
Yeah, it's like 1.5 foot long, so it's not small. It's quite big.
Yeah.
It's still
There
glowing
you
a
go.
little bit. Is it in the Discord?
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit.
To be fair, with what you described,
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say the wings are always there, but yeah, definitely, yeah.
I think the wings pop out when I, do something stupid.
Yeah. Nice.
Arden's just gonna say, well, we have some amazing news to share with you guys. Maybe the 4 of us should meet.
Yeah.
We going to the bearded clam then?
The war room.
To be fair, we do have a room above the bearded clan that's not filled with drunks and
Yeah.
hookers.
As you walk into the bar, a lot of people are like, ooh, and like looking over,
Yeah,
like.
At this point, as I've come in, I will have taken my helmet off, but during the ride up, absolutely not.
Are you wielding Godbreaker right now, or are you?
It's strapped to my back.
Okay, cool. Cool. All right. So You walk into the war room, right? So you're all upstairs around the table, up there. So what would you? Away you go. Like I'm not gonna.
We've managed to get a pretty clean deal with the dwarves.
And we also, I don't know if you can tell from the teeth, but slayed a fucking dragon.
Not wrong.
Just
Are we
casually-
sure it was a dragon and not a wyvern?
That's how the dwarves described it,
What, as a wyvern?
as a
No.
dragon.
Well, I've seen bigger teeth on babies, so...
How big are the teeth actually? Because I would have taken the 2 canines.
Yeah, the canines are around 5 feet, so you wouldn't be able to carry them.
Oh, so
Usually.
maybe not. Or, like a forearm size tooth.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think, yeah, that's what I said the first
You could definitely have carried them in like a sack or something. Like some of your men would have carried them, maybe.
I mean, I'd have liked to, but I think we were up in the mountains, so unless the dwarves would have been like, here, we'll go, bring this to you, or as like a trophy, I don't think I would have gone through the whole trying to like drag that down the halls myself.
Well, I assume if you asked them to, they would. Yeah, if you wanted them to.
I mean,
So
definitely wouldn't.
are the dwarves with you? Like, have you brought dwarves back? Or have you just brought back their secrets?
I think we would have brought some along the way to show them the mine
Okay, cool.
to the Fayrite, but if they would have wanted to come along, someone would have liked to come along and seen the. If the Dwyer would have liked to see our actual keep and such.
That's fine. So around 50 have come back with you, yeah, and they all look heavily armoured. And these aren't dwarves. These aren't Tolkien dwarves. These dwarves are taller than Arden and of a size of a normal human, basically, but they're much, much, much freakishly broader than in heavy armour. So they're in like a phalanx outside, and just looking around.
Well, the good news is the dwarves have given us rights to mine ferrite in the mountains, and they have agreed to exclusively arm our men in dwarven armor.
Not just that. Do you remember our little talk with the men from Camelot?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Been a few weeks.
I just add a character since it's not been that long out, in character.
Yeah. So
they asked us to help find a way over the mountain, and then they would help us basically take over the Lothian Valley.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
If we even want that.
We fucking do, or at least I do. Because I mean, like they've kind of just been pushing us into a corner at this point.
But, like, do we want to be in control of an entire valley?
I mean, we could definitely let Ahern, act as a steward or something, or at least retain some sort of aspect. But, some of these guys, Godfrey definitely has to go and definitely die. But, I mean, at least that gives us the option, is what, But the dwarves have, or the Dwyer have offered to help us find a path between Camelot and here.
you can just call them dwarves if you want to. It's not really-
Okay. I'm trying to be good.
Also,
Yeah. No, that's it.
also, maybe now that we've killed a dragon, if anyone speaks with the Lithing Lords, they might not be as mad about what happened, because we're working on a plan to get rid of the other one as well.
So which dragon was this? Was it just a new dragon that we were unaware of previously, or?
Yes, it was one that had been plaguing the dwarves for the Dwyer for a good amount of time. I'm gonna keep switching between them. I know it. But that had been plaguing the Dwyer for many, many years.
But it's not the one that we woke. You.
Oh, but now that
Do you look at Nameless when you say you?
I look at all of you.
I would be looking specifically at Nameless.
For the guys that were in its like slumber cave, I wasn't down there. I just happened to send you there. Through the floor.
That might technically be semantics, but I'll let that go.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the whole standing. Or I guess we don't know about him standing on the well.
No.
No one actually saw that.
And it doesn't matter at this point now that there's a dragon loose.
Okay. So how much are we going to be earning from this? Or how much are we paying the dwarves?
Zilcho. Absolutely nothing.
Really?
Yep.
Why would they do it for free?
Because you didn't see the size of the dragon, dude. Like, that they asked for... Well, you guys explain it. Why am I explaining it? I'm not role-playing, you do.
We had originally we had offered to share in the results of the mining, and they said they offered in counter that were we to help them reclaim their ancestral home from the dragon, they would mine it and arm us exclusively. So basically, we will be the most well-armed group anywhere outside of the Dwyer themselves for this foreseeable future.
And wealthy with all the ferrite.
So, like, in terms of might, then, in terms of economic might, and thus the sort of force we could buy with it, and equip them with dwarf stuff. How likely would it be that we would pose any kind of threat to Camelot itself?
I guess that's something I should be fielding, or are you asking in...
Yeah, I'm kind of
okay.
like...
So,
like if any of our NPCs
equipment is no longer a concern for you. You will have mithril level armor and weapons. What is a concern for you is manpower. And in terms of a real world equivalent, how much money is in those mountains, I would probably say...
all of it.
Like, yeah, Tesla level, maybe? Yeah? A lot of money. Yeah. If you can extract it, and the dwarves going to help you, but obviously they can only work as fast as they can, so... and then you've got to find a buyer for the Faerite as well. Or use it yourselves to do certain things, but... you've got to be very careful who you let know about the Faerite, because there will be other powers there who go, never mind those fuckers, let's get rid of those, and let's just flatten that keep and take it for ourselves. So, yeah, there's a lot of money there, but there's also a lot of risk as well involved.
Well, we'll definitely want to build ourselves up before we make it known, and try to, maybe trade in small quantities first.
I think for now, I think we should trade exclusively, almost exclusively trade Faerite to the dwarves, and let them, because the dwarves are expected to have Faerite. So if they sell it, then that's just as normal.
So you mean use them as brokers?
Yes, and they can also build craft equipment out of the Faerite, which nobody else can do.
She would ask them to go and be intermediaries then.
Yeah, and for a fair share. They've agreed to mine it and they've agreed to arm us, but that was outside of our particular scope.
Okay.
I mean, we have a pretty good relationship now, so I'm hoping we can get a pretty decent, deal out of them. And there's the whole we killed the dragon.
Okay, so you want the Dwayne to mine the Faerite, and what are you offering? So let's say you get 1,000 gold a week for that. Well, how much of that would you offer back to the Dwayne as like a finder's fee, something like that you were talking about?
I would look at someone who's had more mercantile experience, because Anthony has no idea what would be fair. He just figured, a portion would be fair.
I will rephrase that question. Lochnia, of the 1,000 gold a week that you might be getting from the Dwayne, how much do you reckon would be fair to give back to them in terms of a...
Give back to who, sorry?
How much of it would you be prepared to give back to the Dwayne as like a finder's fee, for doing all the work, basically, in mining it and selling it on your behalf?
Right. Well, they're basically doing all the work.
Basically, yes.
But on our land.
On your land, yeah.
Yeah.
And to be fair, they had already agreed to do all the mining and everything. It's just the selling is the only new point.
2%.
Yeah. So, well, I was going to say a little bit more than that, but no, to give back, no. No, we take maybe 20-25%.
We got they agreed to mine it for us. Like
Yeah,
that's not part of this. The only thing that we're trying to figure out what to pay them for is like selling the
It's
fair.
So what you're saying there, Lochnear, is let's say the figure is 1,000 gold a week from this Fayrite, because they're doing all of the work. You would say they take 750 for themselves and to make your weapons and armor, and you then take 250 and whack it in the coffers every week. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
That sounds fair.
No.
I mean, no, if they're making, if that's also like, because they said they would arm us exclusively. They didn't say they'd arm us for free.
Yeah. But isn't
So-
that just like a lot to be giving up 75% when they just agreed to give us rights to
Yeah,
everything that we
they're
have?
literally doing all the work.
Offer them 20.
Yeah, but they agreed to do all the work for us killing the dragon.
They didn't agree to sell anything for it.
Yeah,
No,
so that's like
so
that's,
What the 20%'s for?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
well, in that case then, flip it around. If they're selling, then they can take a 20% commission.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah,
So
I
they
think
can
that's
fair. That sounds fair.
keep 800.
Okay, so
That sounds
800
very fair.
a week. Cool, nice, like it. 200 to dwarves.
Obviously, we'll need to divvy up that 800 in order to fund personal projects also, obviously.
You are now on plus 550 a week. Look at that.
Just the gigantic quirked eyebrow we need to do what now?
Yeah, maybe like so 50% of that goes to me, and you can keep the rest between you guys.
And what did you do exactly to earn 50% of the income?
None of this would have happened if I hadn't woken the dragon in the first place.
Actually, we were gonna go see the
Yeah.
Dweller anyways.
Oh.
Well, whatever.
Think we,
just he came through that real quick.
I guess we found Nameless's limit on social interaction. Okay.
Oh, no.
Cool. So we got that sorted out. So the dwarves are moving about the keep, and they're speaking to your soldiers and things like that, and they're actually taking measurements. So they're actually already like tailoring pieces of armor and like, oh yeah. And one of them actually gets a bit of iron from like, a slab of iron from the smithy, and just beats it with his hand into like a breastplate shape, and then just puts it on somebody and starts fastening it. And he sort of, because they're just tinkering around and doing things. So, one of them comes into the bar, and the bar goes silent, obviously, because people have seen Dwyer around, but they're not very common. And he marches up the stairs. You can hear him coming from a while away, and the stairs are creaking under his weight. And when he gets to this top, he says, "Me and my boys will stay here for a bit. That's all right, and we'll get some measurements."
I look forward to your company.
He's like, "You might want to reinforce the stairs."
I agree. I'm sure Leander will look forward to your company as well.
He's like, "Oh yeah. Do you want him to have armor as well?"
I'd like something that he can move that won't prevent his growth. He's still quite young. A light chainmail or something similar.
Leave it with me. And he goes downstairs, and then he comes back up like 2 seconds later. Right, I've made 4 suits. Should be about the same size. They should grow with him. So one of them's for now. One of them's for like 2 years from now, 4 years from now. If it goes a different rate, just send them to me. I'll get them some more. But downstairs. And he marches away.
I can see why they do this, considering how little effort it is on their part?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty impressive. I'm just gonna gesture towards the armor suit I was wearing.
Mhm.
This armor was, and I'm just gonna put my hand because it was pretty short when they brought it out, right?
Yeah, it was like Dwayne size. Yeah.
I was like, when they brought this to me, it was yay tall. Just a minute later, and then I'm just gonna gesture to the armor on me. It was kind of intense.
They do it while it was on you, because that's weird.
No, they measured me, and by measured, they looked at me, they hammered it for a moment, and then they put it on me, and it fit perfectly.
So in Scorched Earth, so obviously magic is a very poor thing, diseased thing in the world right now. But the magic that was in the world when the gods were about is like pure anything is possible, Fantasia style magic. So it's like I literally click my fingers and I can make wine, or I can make it rain, or I can that sort of thing. And the Dwayor are basically a throwback to that, so they can do things that just aren't explainable, and they can just click their fingers sometimes, and mad things can start happening, and there are other races like giants and things like that who could also do that and are now dead, obviously, but and the gods could do it.
Out, by the way, Dean, that when you said that they could just click their fingers and make it rain, the music immediately started to rain.
I know. It's just
It was really impressive.
Uncanny.
just the master of immersion, my friend. Just that's what I do. So, what would you guys like to do now? So the way you're outside, they're measuring people up. They're basically just making bits of armor, and you can see out the window of the bar, your smith, what was his name, Alfred, is just standing slack-jawed, like, what is going on? Well, how are they doing? And they're giving him tips as well, so he's like, and he's nodding to them as they're talking. What would you like to do? What would you like to do? You don't have to do... I know you were talking about going into the Grailwood. You don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want. I've planned for a few things.
Well, we need to. I need to go and pay the guys. Or I need to go and pay the guys. And we need to go and kill some bandits.
And I need money for a harem.
So let's go and get some money and kill some bandits.
Yeah, I mean, Androcles would like to, since they're kind of. We've done some stuff, but we don't really have. We haven't really done anything to make a name for ourselves. Is there anything going on that we could look more into, such as after the fight with the Draugr in the mountains?
Mm-hmm.
I've been also thinking about we got the letter talking about the dead people up to the north, or to the northeast, coming out of from like where.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if that's something we could, try to.
Could we do all three in one go? So
Certainly try.
go to the woods, deal with the bandits, which I'm sure will be like a doddle. Get the gold, and then go north. Or do it the other reverse way. Actually, would make more sense, right? Because then we're not traipsing around with the gold.
Well, we drop the gold back off at the keep on the way back.
Okay. Yep, we can do that. That would be my take, anyway.
Sounds good. That's what you want to do. I'm all for that.
Yep.
Cool. So, are you going to take any men with you?
Definitely taking a few, but I mean, one other thing before we start heading out is Androcles wants to see if we can have a serious discussion about whether or not we're going to take Camelot's offer.
I mean, it seems like a good idea initially, get a foothold here, but then I would be inclined, given our interesting financial growth in the space of a week, I would be quite interested to see whether we might replace them.
in
Yeah.
time, but
Yeah, totally. I mean, obviously that's not going to happen straight away, is it? Like we've got one keep.
Well, what's going to happen once Camelot comes up here? I mean, they might then not need us anymore. They say that they would use us, but I don't know. I think they'd get rid of the Lothian lords, and then we would soon follow.
Can always prepare for that, I guess. Work with them, but at the same time, also prepare our own defenses, and then fight them off, and then take the fight back to them.
I mean, at this point, we will have the best armored, troops anywhere, really.
I mean,
aside from the Dwyer themselves.
The only thing I'd be concerned about is, yes, they might have the best armor, but they are still shite.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of the fighting capability.
So I think we could take some time before we let Camelot know that we found a path, until we're in a position that even if Camelot decides to move against us, we can...
So it's a very interesting point that Arden brought up there. And that was that, they could very well come in and try to get rid of everybody, but there's a very good reason why Camelot are using you as like a proxy. That's because there's a very good reason why kingdoms haven't just been able to conquer the Lothian Valley before, because of how secluded it is. And now it's surrounded on three sides by very tall mountains. So... if you ever wanted to build something like a kingdom, this would be an ideal birthing place for it. But you have to be very, very careful in this day and age. This is a dark fantasy setting. Things aren't going to go your way. It's not a fairy tale land. So, yeah. Carry on. Do exactly what I'm doing. I've made a note of your motives to have a little go at Camelot if need be.
Basically working with them with one eye open.
Okay.
Or both eyes open.
Yeah, if they move against us, then we move against them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we won't take them up on their offer for a while. First, we got to work on building ourselves up a bit.
Okay.
And we should be prepared to hold our own, regardless of what happens.
Okay. That sounds great.
Whether it's on their side or just against the Lothian Valley in general.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we should probably make sure that our people have like adequate housing and food and stuff before we start.
I mean, is that top of the priorities?
That's part of what we were working with the people up north. I thought, like, kind of like get trade and stuff going with north, and be built up a bit more for whatever else we have to, whatever other nonsense comes our way. We have allies up north.
Yeah. Who did you send north?
I thought we sent 3 people with 3 groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like a few men as well to try to. Let me get the letter up.
Wasn't it like a dual mustering and trade?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and working on the north. So I'm trying to find the right letter, which I've apparently lost. Can you oh no,
I'm
it's right there. You've already done it.
Yeah.
You've already done it.
So, the 500 men are due this week. So, in this session, there will be 500 men turning up to the Bowery.
Yeah.
In terms of opening Northern Trade, that will also be getting resolved this week. So, it's after 3 sessions post-completion, so we are at the 3rd week. So, it should be here this session.
Yeah, I thought we sent Score and Harlaw at least out there, and I thought we sent Score and Harlaw up north.
I think you did. I can remember.
To just kind of, and I think a few of our well-trained men, so that they could kind of get a group together and train, try to divide the new troops up and train them well.
Okay.
That
sounds good.
That was our original plan. So they wouldn't come back as just 500 useless men. They'd come back as 500 men that have been, working together and training together.
Okay. So, we will towards the end of the session, we will negotiate that. We'll see how well that goes. Who are you? If you're going into the Grailwood, who are you taking with you? Like everyone, this is for everyone. Like, who are you taking with you?
A bunch of our scouts, yeah.
Didn't we send Bjorn to do a scout?
You did send Bjorn to do a scout.
What's his report? Or
He hasn't returned yet. He hasn't returned yet.
You're right.
That's
Well,
concerning.
we can wait for him to return before we decide how many men to take.
I mean, has he been due back?
He was due back like a day ago, I would say. He's not returned yet.
So it's getting close to the time to be a little concerned.
He can look up himself. Let's leave it another day and a half. So 3 days in total. He's late, and then we'll go and we'll go and beat the snot out of anybody who's kidnapped him or killed him.
Well, hopefully we can get to him before he's killed.
Well, yeah, hopefully, but don't know yet. So
His attitude. Well, hopefully we could save him. I mean, we could go earlier, but
I mean,
why
we
bother?
definitely could just go. We definitely could just take, a dozen of our, good scouting men and just go. We have a bunch of them now. Arden's been training people, has she not?
You reckon, Lochner, are you in the mood? Or do you just
I-
want
I-
to drink?
yeah, go on, why not? Yeah, if you want to go, let's go. I'm easy.
I'd like to not lose Bjorn. He's done well for us.
Someone's got a crush. Okay. There's no denial. It's all good. Right, let's go. Save his boyfriend.
I think he's just. I'm just ignoring him. Just letting him keep talking because it seems to be all he really is good at now. Since we're the ones who are currently killing dragons.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, baby wyverns aren't really dragons, but yeah, okay, no worries.
okay. Oh, friends like these. So,
I'd
I mean,
also
I've only
like to point
thrown him
out,
out of one tower.
I'm also the only tournament winner. And who did I beat along the way? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it was you.
If only I hadn't beaten you before that.
I let you win that one.
Mm-hmm. As you rolled down the hillside.
Yeah, it was nice.
all right. Okay. So, who's going with you, and who's staying here? If you are going, who's going with you? Who's staying here?
I think if Arden's mom is around, because she does do,
Mm-hmm. Yes, she would definitely go with you if you wanted her to.
She goes with Arden, could always stay back overseeing things at the keep, or go with whatever you guys prefer.
preferably the more people who know the woods that are with us, the
Okay.
less likely we are to get,
So, speaking of Arden's mother, are we sure it's her mother? Because you didn't recognize her, and she did have a grave. I mean, it'd be very easy to just remove a body and then pretend to be your mother, right?
Wait, Dean, out of character, is this like something like it's pretty sure, like we know we look alike, that kind of stuff, or no?
I would say you look pretty much alike. Yeah, you look pretty much alike.
So like it's pretty certain.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I look like other people, and that doesn't mean I'm related to them. I don't mean to like stir the pot or anything, but your mother was an invisible elf, and now she's here, not dead, and not invisible.
Okay, I gotta ask, what's this invisible elf thing about? You keep talking about it, and I really just have no idea what this has been about this whole time.
So I dug up the grave by accident because I couldn't find where I'd buried the money. Apparently I ignored the gravestone and stuff, but there was no body in there. So I returned, having reburied the grave, and asked her if her mother was invisible because there was no one in the grave that I could see. And it's kind of become a running joke. It feels less funny now I've had to explain it. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm laughing entirely out of character. Androphagus is like just nodding, like, okay, okay. So this is what the hell this has been about for this
Yeah.
long.
Well, it's good you're finally in the loop. Realize you were slow mentally as well as in battle. Anyway.
Like just ignoring this, and she's gonna ask her mother to join them.
Okay, so she bounds over, and just nods.
Is she bound?
Yeah, no, but she's an elf. She frolics, so she heads over.
She seems less frolicky and more murdery.
Yeah, pretty much. She's also
Does
quite
she
tall.
Murder frolic?
She's also quite tall. She would say she would have as nameless as Castanova. She would have more to do with an Achaean than more in common with an Achaean than an elf. But Achaeans are elves, kind of. So one of those.
Isn't Arden quite short?
She is, yeah. Well, not short. She's a woman. So
She's normal size compared to
Yeah.
the two
Like,
of
you
us.
guys are giants, and Arden's just like average.
she's like 5'6", 5'7", yeah. Not like
Tiny. Okay. It's like child-sized.
Oh my god, that's how tall I am.
all right, fucking.
I meant in terms of to an Achaean.
Sure you did.
Mr.
Sure you did.
Nameless King of Men over there with his
Yeah.
with his doomsday pecs. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so again for the third time, who's going with you when you go into the fucking woods? Like, are you going on your own? I will make you go on your own.
I think the group of us, like several of the rangers, yeah, that's really like all of our captains are busy, or the other one's dead at this point. So
At night, or are we going during the day?
I figured or we start out. I mean, what time did we get back?
It's about midday now.
I mean,
Start first thing. How's that?
how long of a march is it really?
I'd say it's a couple of hours.
Yeah, we
done-
can get there with plenty of daylight left.
God, you're really keen to find out where your boyfriend is. Okay.
I mean, might as well just get it over with.
What were you gonna say?
Sorry, hold on a second.
So are we going now, then? In fact, I'm just going to make the decision. Let's just go now. I'm going to get my armor. Fuck this.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
So, Lochnia and Nameless are by the gate, ready to go,
Yeah.
fully armed.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no, I'm going out with them.
Okay, so well, you were already armed and armored. So Arden, are you heading out as well? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Are you guys taking any men with you? Bjorn is out there with a couple of men.
We're definitely taking Astrid.
I mean,
Okay.
several of the archers that have been working as hunters and scouts.
Rangers and trackers, basically.
Yeah.
So maybe just take 10 of those as well, and
Okay.
I think that'll work.
Sounds good. Alright, cool. Let's whack that on there. So, the Grailwood is an area of Albion that produces some of the finest timber for shipbuilding. Okay, so as such, it's marked by the Valkyrie as one of the key reasons why they would invade the Lothain Valley for in perpetuity. They've always wanted it. It's mist-shrouded woodlands teem with wildlife and game that hug the mountains. As the expedition of Outlander troops in the Bowery suits up to leave, you are left with an uneasy feeling that you are being watched. Any show of aggression in the woods may now be seen as an act of war. Regardless, someone asked you to help you on your honour, so damn be the consequences. Okay? Now, if you can remember, that woman was a girl called Nessa, who sent you a letter saying there had been poachers outside of her house and things like that.
But now that the lines have changed, is it still within our lands?
It's
If not, that we shouldn't.
it's just outside now. It's in the neutral zone.
Oh, well then,
Leave it to somebody else.
yeah,
Well,
but
no,
then
we-
they're not,
You
then
got to
they're
go and
not
get them.
poachers. They're not poachers anymore. They're on their land, so.
So
No,
are we're not punishing
it's in the
them?
neutral zone, not in the zone that was owned by the Kills Bridge, or yeah, it's not it's still the people from Kalesbridge should still not be there.
But that's Ahern's problem.
Well, I mean, I think we send him talk to his troops and show them that we're here to help deal with these bandits or something to that effect. But we should still go there, and at the very least, we can find out what's going on with Bjorn. She's still there.
And we're obviously punishing for previous infractions, right? So it's not just like we're going over to someone else's land and punishing someone needlessly, which isn't really our jurisdiction. We're punishing someone for crimes they committed on our land when it was our land.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think Nameless forgets these things very easily.
no, I don't. I'm definitely a grudge bearer.
Oh, some hands are going to be flying.
Yep. Straight back
In more ways
to,
than one.
was it Godfrey? Yeah, we'll send him to Godfrey this time.
All right. So, when you come to the outskirts of the actual woods, you can actually see that there are a few riders bounding their way out of the woodlands on the road up to the Bowery. And you see one of them is Bjorn, who hails you with one hand and jumps off of his horse and walks over to you. He goes, sorry I'm late. I wanted to get back before you left.
Well, now we found you. I guess we could just go home.
he nods and says, well, we could do that, yeah, sure. And he says, the Nessa's Hut is actually just inside of Godfrey's territory. I did think it was the neutral zone, but it's not. I wasn't able to get too close. There's a number of warriors in the forest. I counted about 50 of Ahern's men there, and about 100 of the Kalebridge side in the forest from the tracks that I've been seeing. Yeah, they have been encroaching into our part of the woods as well. So,
Well, when they come into our part of the woods, we'll deal with them.
As in, you mean they've been encroaching as an ongoing process, yeah?
yes.
Didn't he just say there was like 50 to 100 men?
He said that there's 52, from what he's counted in the forest, there are 50 of Ahern's men in there, and about 100 of Kalebridge's men inside the forest, and they're all over the place. So some of them will be in your land, some of them will be in the neutral zone, some of them will be in their own land. They're just poaching and cutting down trees and things.
It's time to take for some poachers.
Go for a pint. No, that's what Lockney would prefer.
Yeah.
All right, then, let's go deal with some poachers.
As long as we don't cross any boundaries and get into more trouble with the other lords, let's do this.
I can't promise we won't get into more trouble, just so you know. It seems attracted to me.
So Bjorn nods and says, "We'll come with you and we'll watch your back. So we'll make sure we're not being followed when we're in there."
Excellent. Well, I guess. So what are we doing? Are we basically just? Because I'm assuming if they're poachers, they're not going to be 50 to 100 in one place. They're all going to be camped around, like spaced out. So are we just roaming? Yeah. Are we just roaming around each camp as we encounter them and just massacring them and then moving on?
Yeah, because they're poachers.
Should we make sure to leave a few alive so that they can go back and tell people, oh shit, don't mess with them?
Not
Well,
this time.
We can leave one alive and
I think-
attach the 150 sets of hands to him.
I think this time, if we don't leave anyone alive, we can claim that they were just poachers, and just that if none of them come back, then who knows how they were armored or dressed. Let's just make them think twice, but without opening us up to the obvious political ramifications.
I'm not sure that's going to work as an excuse. Well, we didn't know that 150 people just disappeared. Could just have been incompetent.
Oh, there were poachers on our land, and we treated them as such.
Well, in that
So
case, why are
send
we
one
concerned
back
about
with a
sending a
message.
message? Yeah.
Yeah, just send one back with a message to Godfrey and to Ahern. So maybe leave 2 alive.
Well, yeah, one can have all the left hands and one can have all the right hands.
I think let's avoid sending hands just yet because
Okay, full arms.
let's avoid
we
sending
don't
limbs.
mutilate.
Limbs? What about a
For
head?
killing and no mutilation.
Yeah, let's just wipe them out. And if we leave any alive to send a message, then we just leave them as is.
Well, let's start going. What size are these camps going to be, do we think? Like each one? Because is it worth splitting up, or are we just roaming around as a group?
So,
'Cause-
the information you've gotten from Bjorn is that there are roving groups of around 10 to 15 that he's been able to see.
So my concern would be, if we don't act quickly, then obviously word is going to get around that, camps have gone missing.
Yeah. So split into groups of 2 and jump 2 camps at a time.
That's kind of my thought. Otherwise, they're just going to band together, and then, I mean...
Then it's going to be an actual
quite a lot
fight
of men.
and not a butcher.
And we can send, because I think Astrid knows the Grailwood, we can have her in one group and me and Arden in another.
Okay. Yep, that works. Let's do that.
Okay. So, repeat again what you're doing.
So we're splitting into 2 equal-sized groups
Mhm.
In order that we're more efficient in our killing, because we don't want them to notice too quickly that their camps are
Being overrun.
dwindling. Yep. Because otherwise they'll group up, and then we're having to fight like 100 to 150 men, which would suck.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the plan.
Sounds good. All right. Who's going with who?
So I guess Androcles and I would probably go in separate groups, because we're
Most likely to fight each other.
we're the murder hobos. So you need one in each group. We've got one.
We really do.
One scout ranger in each group, in Arden and her, in inverted commas, mother. So then I guess we send Bjorn one way and Locknear the other, and then just split the rest up equally.
Okay. So, it's going to be... Arden and Locknear are separated, so they're going to... So, Arden is going with Androcles, I'd guess, and Locknear is going with Nameless. Astrid will go with Locknear and Nameless too. And Bjorn will go with Arden and Androcles. And we'll split you up into 5 men each. So 5 of the men go with each of you.
How many men did Bjorn have with him as well?
He had 4, but you can...
Five.
Yeah.
Okay, works for me.
Alright.
Do it. I want to start murdering shit.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
We're doing all this role-playing when we could be, murdering people.
Yeah,
God.
rolling dice.
It's been nice, isn't it? It's been nice and relaxing so far. So... We'll go with Locknear and Nameless first. So... When you guys head into the forest, you head into opposite directions, obviously. And... You come into several clearings, none of which have any sort of... anything especially telling about them. There's a few bits of livestock wandering around. Obviously, they've gotten free of their holding pen somewhere. And yeah, there's a few rabbits diving around. You see a few does here and there. Everyone, do a perception check for me. Actually, moving through the brambles. Obviously, moving through.
2 of them, yeah.
Yeah. There's Nameless and Lochner.
I can't remember my stats. It's been that long since I rolled a dice. Let's have a look.
Oh, did you guys end up spending your session points from the last one?
No, but I'll do it at the end of this one. It's all good.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's worth saving them occasionally because
Yeah,
I definitely would have died.
You were, yeah, you were an inch away from not seeing Androcles ever again.
Oh, that's a shame.
So,
Thanks.
so Nameless, you can see a flash of red and white in front of you. I feel about 100 yards away. Your arcane eyes pick out the surcoat colours of Kale's bridge. It's moving in the bushes.
So I guess I would tap on Lochner and... Did Bjorn come with us?
No.
Astrid went with you.
Astrid did.
So I'll tap on Astrid's shoulder, because clearly, as our ranger, she should have been spotting these before I did, but,
Yep, and what would you like? And are you...
I'm just tapping on their shoulder and just sort of pointing at my eyes and pointing to where they are.
Okay, she takes an immediate shot at them with her there we go.
They die a miserable, painful death because she's got crazy bow skills.
Alright, that guy is a pincushion. So, she basically, you nod, and as soon as you nod, she lets out 4 arrows that go splintering through the air, and they catch him. And you can hear him go, "Oh!" as he goes into the bush. And she nods to you, and then moves off into the undergrowth.
I'm going to look at Lochner and go, well, that was less fun than I anticipated.
He just stands silently, exactly like the picture. Exactly like the picture. Just.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I was on mute again. Bollocks.
I was like, wow, that was a tumbleweed moment.
I mean, I was pretty sure you were on mute, but I was just gonna wait and see what happened.
It actually worked quite well when you look down at. Every time John goes silent, you look down at the picture, and it's just he's standing there with his arms folded, looking unimpressed. Right, so are you guys just gonna let her go off, or are you gonna go somewhere else? Are you gonna follow her, or are you gonna go around?
I guess we follow her. She's leading us, right? We're doing.
Okay.
If she hasn't killed them with a bow, then I guess we actually get to do something. Otherwise, we're just kind of, I don't know, walking along like lapdogs.
Yeah. As you're going towards the next clearing, you hear like a shuffle in the bushes in front of you, and it's Astrid like kneeling down, crouching and walking very quickly the other way, going, "No, this one's for you," and like goes behind you.
Well, in that case, I'm just going to charge through the undergrowth with my spear in my arm, and and just go murder hobo on.
All right.
On them.
Yep, likewise, I go hailing in behind them.
Yeah, we're not doing subtle. I'm thinking war cry and everything.
All right. So you burst through the undergrowth, and into a clearing, right? Both of you, like with a war cry. And you actually see nothing there. There's no one there. It's just, and in front of you, the body of the one scout, with all of the arrows sticking through him, is up against the wall, and he's basically all of his fingers have been cut off apart from the middle one, which is facing towards you. And Astrid strolls through the undergrowth and like walks around you. Follow me. And just walks off into the other half of the forest.
Okay.
You got trolled pretty fucking hard right there.
So, let's
get revenge.
let's go over to Androcles and Arden. So, what are you guys up to? What are you doing? You've gone to the left. You've gone the other way. So,
Perception check to try to find more people.
okay. Nice. I forgot how much of a buff you got. So, you can actually see smoke on the horizon, like billowing upwards. And from the letter that you got, it wouldn't be far away from Nessa's house.
Is it clear to tell where our part of the woods end?
Not really. You haven't really hammered that out yet because you've been away doing things.
I was gonna say, didn't we?
Ahern said he would take care of it.
Yeah, I thought Ahern already.
I think he has laid down a sort of involuntary boundary, yeah. But there isn't like a line saying here is where your woods end, and you know.
Well then, let's just. Is there anything a bit closer to, or like that's for sure in our area that we can see?
No, just you can see forestry all the way around. You can sort of hear on the wind a vague war cry going off somewhere, and you think instantly the other two are in trouble. But you can also the smoke on the horizon, the only thing you can actually see, and even then, but you can tell it's coming from not a natural source. This isn't like a campfire. That's like burning thatch. That's where that's coming from.
Let's move. We'll move toward that sneakily.
Okay. I need you to roll some sneak rolls for me, please.
Okay.
And because Arden's there, I will allow one re-roll to a sneak roll for everybody, apart from Arden, obviously.
And I get a +2 buff to remain hidden in forest, so it's gonna be plus. Is that gonna be +18?
I would assume so.
I mean +19.
I would assume
It's a
so.
guile check, not a speed check, right?
Oh,
Guile
okay.
check, yeah.
So guile.
I just want to double check something before I roll this. I think you
But
gave
since
me.
that is still like tracking, investigating in the forest, do I still get that +10 from perception or no?
No, because you're trying to remain hidden rather than tracking something or.
Yeah. I rolled a 10.
Oh dear. Okay, so
It could have been worse. It could have been less than 10.
please, if I can give here 1 second.
Wow, Arden actually did worse. Arden's less sneaky than Androcles.
Please draw yourselves where you can see, anywhere where you can see. All right. These guys are facing away from you, but a few of them are turning around. These all look like Calebridge, man.
Is it time to charge? I'm just gonna run into him.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do any work or anything. I'm just gonna.
You were
run
actually
right
on elevated ground there by about 20 feet. That is a hill.
Ooh, 20 up above, you say?
Hmm.
Before we run in, could I just do like a spear shot from far away?
They're facing the other way, but they're starting to turn around. I'm going to give you one action each. That's it. What would you like to do?
Ale of barbs.
Okay.
No.
Well,
Oh wait, do they have to be charging us for me to use this?
Technically, yes.
Okay, then I can't do it.
then I'm just gonna jump down on them using Wings of Flame. I think if I can.
Mm-hmm. Explain what that
So,
does,
yeah,
because I've forgotten.
So I'm just gonna do all my actions, or I guess I just need one action to
Mhm.
jump into that. Right, I just had to jump off the elevator on the right middle, and I'll just copy and paste it.
Cool. I'll call that about 20 feet, 25 feet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for 20-foot drop, they need to roll a 25 or above.
25 or above. They need
And
a
so I'm
natural 20.
So I'm gonna land right in the middle of them, and everyone within. So they all take. Okay. D20 aggravated damage that bypasses armor.
Ooh.
13 aggravated damage.
Okay. Bypasses all armor. Okay, so 1. How many people around is it?
Not yet.
Alright. Before you can do anything, Androcles jumps off the side and basically annihilates them all in like a shockwave. And fires start spreading out onto the trees around him. And that fire starts to spread. And spread rather quickly as well.
Oh dear. I did not think that would happen. Oh, I honestly didn't. I knew it was probably I knew it was a risk, but it was too cool not to.
Couldn't resist playing with a new toy.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically going to be my default.
Arden, you've seen all this occur.
She has no idea what to do to stop the fire, other than possibly trying to like clear a path, making dead zones so the fire can't spread.
Yeah, I think Androcles will see what he's done and be like, "Ooh, you know what? Let's see if we can do something about this fire."
Okay, so you're gonna go about hewing trees. Okay.
Yeah.
Just like clearing dead I don't know, just doing stuff to try not to let it spread.
Roll.
Are you still technically in our borders at this point?
Yes.
Because you're felling trees.
No, not
Step
felling
out
trees,
into the
just
forest.
clearing stuff on the ground and stuff.
Yeah, but will people see it like that?
So, Andrew, please go ahead and do some mic checks for me. Do about how many trees do you want to cut down? You're going to have to cut down around 20 to get it clear of the fire.
And I'll do as many as I have to.
So mic check. So 20 D20.
20 D20? Alright, let me just double check what my modifier was. So my might is +6 right now?
Mm-hmm. Looking at 18s. He's pretty big. Pretty big.
Oops, I meant to roll a lot more than that. 19 D20.
Just roll 20 if you want.
I've got a couple of nat 20s in there.
1,
And
2,
+6,
3,
that gives me a lot more.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Managed to cut down 12 trees. It isn't enough. So let's cut across to Nameless and Lochner. As you're following into another clearing, Astrid, she says, "Can you see smoke?" And she just points onto the horizon.
Would we have seen this giant, weird, Celtic-looking guy like leaping into the air on fire off a cliff into the forest? Would we have seen this?
No, because like you are in a different part of the forest.
Okay.
So,
I just wondered because they heard our war cries.
Yeah. You can hear the sounds of an explosion over there.
I heard a boom.
Yes, and she's pointing and says, "Can you see a fire over there, like smoke?"
Not my problem. Move on.
He shrugs and moves into the undergrowth. So, you guys finally come into another clearing, Lochner and Nameless. And in this clearing, there is a house. Okay? Now, there are several men wearing the regalia of Calesbridge standing around. And they're generally having a bit of a rabble-rouse. You know, the drinking, the eating, things like that. And the house itself is long burned out. Okay? Mm-hmm. And there is what looks like a woman crucified on several planks of wood and nailed to a tree who has been burned. So blackened skin, like the whole 9 yards. And as you march into the clearing, Astrid walks behind you two and says, "Okay, this one's actually yours." Okay. And stands behind you. As the men from Calebridge just stand up and start patting themselves down. And they say, "Oh, we don't like poachers round here. Get lost."
Well, that's ironic. Are you aware there's a giant fire over there, by the way?
He goes, "What?"
I mean, are you stupid? There's a giant fire over there. You see the flames, the wall of smoke, fire.
They look to the right and they can sort of see smoke drifting to the horizon. And they go, "All right, yeah."
Yeah, you should probably go deal with that.
Yes, nah. It's in their neck of the woods. We're not bothered about
Who's their neck of the woods?
that. Outlanders. Blokes from up the road there.
Okay, I'm gonna immediately just throw a like sword at him or something,
Okay.
like right into his fucking throat. Pardon my language.
Okay. Cool. You're gonna throw your spear at him, basically.
Oh yeah, because I will. I'll use the. There's a feat where the spear comes back to my hand.
There is. Have a little look.
Give me a second. I remember seeing it. I remember. I have to find it because I've got like 4 documents open and I can't remember which one it is. That's the one with Manticore Sting. That one. Right. So, it is the Hurled Ice Lightning.
Okay.
Has no cooldown or limit on usage. Roll a might check after declaring your target. Add your skill with a spear to the roll also. The range of your spear is now this might check doubled. Roll a normal attack as if you were in close combat with a spear to try and hit your opponent. So am I rolling 2 hits in effect?
Yes.
D20 plus might and spear.
Well, the first one is how far it can go, basically.
Yeah. So might 6, spear 8, so plus 14.
Mm-hmm. Roll it and then double it. All right, 50. And yeah,
I don't have to roll the might though, do I?
No.
So I actually did that one wrong.
So just do the normal close combat attack now.
So plus my spear. There you go.
Cool. So it does hit him. What damage does it do?
It does. If you do hit, then you do normal damage plus whatever your might score is in aggravated damage, and then it immediately returns to my hand.
All right. What's your might score?
My might score is 6,
Mm-hmm.
and the spear. I really need to like put all this into one document. The spear is.
Yeah, I've added the base lines for all of my weapons, armor and stuff, into the document. Then all the special effects I've just left in their other documents.
So is it is the top damage right for a 21?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's 18 aggravated.
Oh, okay.
With armor piercing 5.
All right. So you hurl this spear. It goes right through the center of his face and flash freezes his head. And as you pull it back, his head just pops off on the end of the spear and comes straight back to your hand. So, and his head looks very surprised.
That's good.
I can be there with you.
And the men just like jump up and immediately charge you. A few of them come from the woods as well. So let's roll initiative. A bit of initiative rolling. Oh dear.
Which one? This is speed plus
Perception.
Perception. That's right. Oh my god! Try and do this without a mouse as well as infuriating. Plus 8.
You're going first. Lochner is going second. They are going third. There are 10 of them.
Okay.
So there were 11. 5. We'll do 5 on each. So 5 are coming towards Lochner, 5 are coming towards Nameless.
Are they just running in a line?
No. not in single file.
I mean, you got to ask these questions, right?
I mean, it does make a little bit of a difference.
It does. It kind of changes what I might do. So I guess.
Well, they might actually have to do anything, really.
Yeah, I know. Just one attack and they're all dead. Well, I guess I'll just whack them in the face, whatever. 1, 2, 3, isn't it? 3 attacks.
Yep. So one is thoroughly skewered, whereas the other 2 sort of have to dart to the side and get out the way of your attack. But one of them's definitely dead. The other 4 will be with you in a second. So, Lochner, is your turn. What would you like to do? 5 men are encroaching upon your position. I'm going to say you can just hit them if you want, or you can charge into them. It's up to you.
Oh, they're not in a line, right?
No.
Which actually works better for him.
I'll run into the middle of them and use my great cleave to D6 opponents.
Nice.
So
I'm going to give you a minimum of 3 there. Oh, shit. Okay.
all of them.
Yep.
And then roll to hit. Oh, bollocks. Very typical.
Oh.
13 typical.
Okay. So you do a mad swing, and the sword buries itself in a grand old oak next to you, and you can't really pull it out. And so we'll go with 4 attacks on Nameless. Whoops. Oh, okay, and do it again. Cool. That is 2. What is your armor?
I'd just re-roll the 19 and the 16 straight away.
Okay.
Get rid of it.
Alright, 1 hit. So what is your armor?
My armor is... So, my armor would be 4 plus 9 plus 13.
Okay, no damage goes through. No damage goes through.
Okay.
Alright.
It's 16, by the way.
Okay. So, and 5 go into Lochnia. That is 3 hits. And what is your armor altogether?
5.
5. Okay, that is 12 superficial damage.
You a helmet.
I need a bloody helmet. Oh, if I'm still standing.
That's good. That's good. So you take some glancing blows. As you're as you're fending them off, you know, but the skin is taking a lot of the brunt. All right, roll initiative again. Oh dear. Exactly the same as last time. All right, so Nameless, you're going first once again. 4 people in front of you. All right, two of them just go straight down. So you're left with 2 more people in front of you. Mm-hmm. So you'd lance out with your spear after receiving blows on the shield, take out somebody's knee, pull it back, ram it into somebody's chest, and pull it back again. Nice and methodical. And Lochnia, roll a might check first to get your sword out the tree.
I'm gonna use my axe.
You're gonna let it go and use your axe.
Yeah.
Secondary weapon.
I'm all individually, really.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2 is a bit better. 8 attacks do I get?
3.
4,
3.
And
Okay, so 1 is cleaved in half, like straight in half. As you lose your temper, you get your axe out, you swing wildly with 2 and miss, and the fury of the last one just literally cleaves a guy in half right in front of you, right down to his sternum, and he just falls backwards in a shower of viscera. I'm actually gonna roll a morale check for that. That's pretty messy kill. 2 of them are running. 2 guys are running. There's still 1 left though. Well, 2 left, sorry. So we'll do it again. We'll do another initiative roll. Oh, that's better.
And didn't they attack? And they're going to have their...
Oh yeah, of course they are. Of course they are. Sorry, thank you very much for that. Roll 2d20. Oh, that is 1 hit of. Did you say you had 5 armor? So that'll be 4 superficial.
I'm down.
Okay. Would you like to activate your?
I certainly will.
Okay. Here we go.
His eyes glow red.
Yeah.
So yeah, as soon as they enter a rage state, if he chooses immediately against 4 actions, every hit he lands is an instant natural 20.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I just got fast, but it counts as a 20. Is that right?
Yep. Up he goes. Up he gets. He's had enough messing around. So I'm just going to say your eyes just start blazing, and you just with 1 arm just pluck the fucking great sword from the tree.
Okay. Right. Okay.
and immediately you plant it again in the tree.
That I was rolling for my axe.
Okay, cool.
+2, you see. That doesn't count.
All right.
Would have been hilarious. Oh.
Just fells the tree.
You'd probably take the tree down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So which one of these is which? So the first one is your sword, is it?
Ignore those +2s, basically.
Okay.
I just cursor up to roll for my axe.
Okay.
But you said that I could take the sword out, so
Yeah.
instead, rolling from the sword. So that's
Okay.
the first attack.
Shit. Okay. So
I'm going to headbutt the other one. I think, I don't know.
the trees are going down left and right. So you just start swinging, and Nameless, you can hear like the of like different trees falling down all the way around you, and this howl of anger, and you hear one or two bludgeoning sounds as men are felled beneath the tide of wanton violence that is Lochner at the moment.
Do any of the trees fall on that man?
I'm just gonna do a little roll to see if that happens. No. So they fall off in the opposite direction. But Lochner, I'm gonna let you continue your turn. What would you like to do?
I'll carry on watching.
Cool. So you're going towards the men that are engaged with Nameless at the moment.
Oh, yeah, if there are any left. Whoever's left.
There's two left, yeah.
Towards them, once.
One is mulch, another is mulch. So you basically just drop your weapons and you just go in, just fucking tearing off heads, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll d20 for gore. Go on, roll d20 for gore. What happens here? Okay, so you basically rip the jawbone out of one of them and knock him out and just start beating him with it, and then the other guy, you sort of use it like brass knuckles and just start hammering it into his face. And Nameless, you're like behind your shield and you just look over your shield and you see this like squelching mess as the rage leaves Lochner, he just has splinters of bone in his knuckles, in both of his knuckles, as he just sits up. And
in what was forest and is now a clearing.
Yes, it is now a clearing, been shorn clear. And Astrid walks around you, Nameless, and says, "Well, I'm not to fuck with you."
Literally or figuratively?
Yeah, I'd hope that never happened, but
No,
sure.
I think she's talking to more Lochner than you, to be honest. But anyway, cross to the other, to London's burning over there. And yeah, the forest is aflame, but it seems to be going towards the Kale's Bridge side of the forest. So whether you want to cut it down is up to you.
As long as we can stop the spread in our part.
It's not going in your direction. There's actually a pathway in between your trees and theirs. It's like a natural boundary.
To you, Androcles.
I mean, we probably shouldn't, let the whole place burn down, but it'll eventually circle back.
If we can't have our wood, then no one shall have wood. No.
Yeah, I guess we'll
But,
just keep moving through, just trying to stop the spread or slow it down.
All right.
Slow it down, keep it from getting too out of hand, but a little bit of chaos in their direction isn't bad. Especially since we're currently heading in their direction.
Okay, I'm going to level with you.
Cabinet.
I've got no fucking clue how you're going to go about doing that with no water.
I don't.
So
Just
if you can
felling
lay it
trees.
on me, I'll see if you can do it. But I cannot think of anything that you can do to stop this at this point in time.
Felling trees is really our only recourse, right?
That would mean you going into the fire and trying to outrun it.
Oh, then I guess we just kind of let it happen at this point.
What
There's not a
happens,
whole lot we can
happens.
do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
They've got 150 men, or 130-ish men in their woods. They can.
That's true. That's true.
like, are there any settlements nearby that you might just end up burning down as a result of your incompetence?
It wasn't a result of incompetence. It was a result of my hubris. Very different.
Alright.
that
I don't know.
perfectly.
I don't think we want the blood of innocence on our. What?
I mean, is there? Because I thought this, you know.
So,
No one really lived around here.
what we'll do, we'll take a quick 5-minute break and then we'll come back for the last half an hour. And we'll sort some shit out.
So I love how you saying it wasn't incompetence, it was hubris, perfectly demonstrates the sheer amount of hubris.
I flew
No,
too close to the sun.
I
flew
just
too
didn't
close
know
to the
how
sun.
good I was.
I mean, I expected to murder them all. I didn't expect to not only be able to murder them all, but to also start a forest fire in one attack.
And potentially burn down all of our land.
Well, right now we're just burning down
It's only
their
heading
land.
towards theirs.
Right, I'm gonna get a cup of tea. Be right back.
Yeah.
we can argue about my hubris later.
Oh, I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, no, it's just, you know, it is. I'm good. I got this. Oh shit!
It was
I've not
great. It was
only
like-
managed to kill everybody, but I've
It was
also
just one
managed
of those
to start a
like
fire.
perfect scenarios.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You know, I didn't think too much about the whole Ring of Flames thing, to be honest. I just
Like,
thought,
I
you know,
didn't
I can pop
either.
down and murder all these people all at once.
Like you
It's
picture
gonna be
like,
really great. It's gonna be really great if anyone attacks our walls,
that's true.
because I just go up to the top fucking tower and just pop goes the army.
I mean, honestly, I didn't think that a force like this would be able to catch fire that easily. So
I did roll pretty well for damage as well. I think it was part of the problem. And Dean does like setting things on fire. This is a true thing. Sure,
said
most
that-
of my characters have been pyromaniacs, so. Well, not most.
does fiction mirror reality?
Maybe a hair. You know, it's hard to say. But you know, like the one character I had that survived the most campaigns was a fire sorcerer, who he wasn't ever nice, but a lot of stuff happened, and most of it was very unpleasant for him. And he became a really kind of just awful person, just murdering people left and right. Anyone who wasn't like part of his group was basically fair game.
Mm.
Yeah, a lot happened.
Funny. Fair, like fire is really pretty.
Yeah, but yeah, he was
That's funny
knocked
though.
unconscious 5 times in 5 combats.
Is this like a sci-fi setting, or what kind of setting was it?
It was kind of a mixed one. It was a mix of it was kind of 3.5s with guns added in.
I have no idea what that meant. What that
D&D. It was the D&D 3.5 setting. Where we added some guns.
I've actually never played Dungeons and Dragons before.
It's fun.
At this point, like I'm so used to Dean's rules where they mirror reality instead of just being like, no, this is how the role works. And
Yeah.
I quite like that. So I've been a bit hesitant to try anything else.
I mean, it's different. It's like, you know, you're just playing a different game system. Like, I've played combinations of both. You know, I've played, you know, so many versions of Dean's Rules at this point. And I've played most of the D&D editions at one point. Or no, I haven't played the original 2, but I played 3.5, I played Pathfinder, I played 4th edition and 5th edition a lot, you know? And, you know, it's not that anyone's better than the other, they're just different.
Mm,
I do like Dean's Rules, you know,
yeah.
argument there, but...
Alright, I'm back.
But, yo,
Hello.
we were talking about the Birth of Allister.
Oh, yeah, the guy who fried himself in a...
He survived 2 full campaigns.
He did,
or
yeah.
3 full campaigns.
Yeah, he did. 2 3/4. Yeah. It's about 3 years, something like that. Maybe 2.5, 3 years, yeah, of constant campaigning.
Yeah.
I think like he was part of one group, and then that campaign ended. Not because it just ended, but it came to a conclusion. And then he turned up again in the next group, but he was the same character, you know. So David basically played the same character, but in the next group of people.
And that was when we moved to the first version of the Bodrobe.
Yes.
And then he played through the next that campaign and survived, and then that campaign survived as well.
Most def.
I'm back.
Hello.
Yeah, and then he finally died in the last campaign, and then I made her who also died in that campaign. So I was doing really well for not killing characters, and then they all died.
Yeah. I think it's Jacob who had the most deaths, wasn't it? Like it became like a thing
Because
where
he had on average 2 deaths a campaign.
yeah, he just played characters.
Does he just like charge into battle and everything? How does that happen?
Well,
Not so much that. It's
Yeah.
more like he died the first couple of times, and then after that he just decided. And he had one epic sad death in like the D&D campaign we did, where he was like the main guy, and then like he laid down his life for everyone else basically because 2 of the party betrayed him, and killed him.
terrible people. Who would do something like
I
that?
know. And then after that, he in every campaign he was just like, I think the next one we did was like a Driftwood style setting, where it was called Relic.
That was when my sorcerer Allister came, and his was
That was
kind
it.
of he was definitely a hippie, and then he turned into a drug addict.
Yeah. So
At that point, was he just like, my characters are just always going to die. I'm just going to have them.
no,
He lasted.
he wasn't salty at all. Yeah, he wasn't salty at all. He just felt like
No. What I mean, was he just like, oh, I'll just have fun with it, like let it?
no, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
His original character was supposed to be kind of fun. It was just we were in a pretty dark setting, and he ended up being the leader.
Yeah.
Whereas the rest of us were just were fucking around and and trying to decide whether or not we were going to kill Lawrence.
I like the way that worked because it was like quietest person there basically had the respect of everybody, so they made him leader. I quite like the way that worked. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
Quite a nice moment for him.
So he geared himself towards towards RP and all of his skills and such.
Yeah.
And then the rest of us were just murder hobos.
Yeah.
Well, except for Dan. Dan actually had like utility as a druid.
He just speak to John about that because the session where John joined us for a session to like play a guest character, like we were saying to Dan, we were like, all right, Dan, so there are these guys in the setting who can cancel magic, and like it's been
Just absolutely just straight cancel it.
yeah, you've been told throughout the entire campaign for the last 8 months this is what happens, and you've seen it happen on multiple occasions. Okay, yeah, they're all in this ship here. Okay, I'm going to fly over the ship with my 20th level spells. Okay, cool. And I'm looking around the table desperately for someone to say me. I meet David's, Gaze, and Tom's because they're against Dan at this point, and they're just like, I'm not fucking telling him, you know. They're just like, I don't fucking care. So he leaps into the.
It made it a lot easier for us because he had all the high level druids.
He did like without him, the good guys in the party were pretty much fucked, and he flew over the top of this.
We had made plans separately. Like each
Yeah.
of the groups were kind of set aside in the plans, and part of the plans was we were getting the girlfriend of Tom's character out on the boats, which is what he was going for. He was trying to get her to hold her hostage. I think
Yes.
was the idea. And so we sent her with protection.
So he
One of the sets.
So he lands on the boat basically and crashes on the boat amongst all of these paladin knights who are like way tougher than he is physically, and now he has to rely on his physical strength. And I still tried to get him out. I was like, okay,
He
so
didn't even have a weapon.
no, he had like a crossbow or something. So I was like, I was still like, okay, so there is a portal there. Don't ask me how. I was breaking my own rules. There's a portal there. You can run to it. You can do this. Now I'm going to fight them. okay, dude, okay, I can't save you at this point. Like, like this point, I'm just like, okay, well, off you go, and then he
Here,
just
wait, I hate to do this.
he
I
just
just
died.
have to give me like 30 seconds and I'll be right back.
Yeah. Anyway, he just died, and then
Yeah.
I don't think he kicked up that much of a stink, but I think he did say odd things, and then John was just like, well, as the outsider here,
But what?
you were fucking. We basically wrote you an essay on why not to do that, and you did it anyway.
He knew, and
Like-
it had been an issue consistently. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
this is like the fourth time they'd run into it.
Oh, he kept trying to
And
fight them. Yeah.
cancels.
Yeah.
He kept trying to fight these people who could cancel all of his magic.
Yeah.
I mean, I helped him one time before I helped betray the party.
I think it was a learning process with him, because I think later on he was a lot smarter, but he might have just been role playing the character as well, because he was chaotic good. But on the flip side of that, like he was,
Stupid, that was it. 'Cause he was just. We had the plan with poisoning the well in the town and all this sort of stuff, and it was going to work. And
Yeah.
just the exasperation in the voice.
It would have been if
like-
Tom and I hadn't
Ugh.
been offered $250,000 gold.
Yeah.
We would have just destroyed that city.
Yeah. And it was but it was like a few times he'd been warned of, like, try not to antagonize these guys, blah blah. Every time he saw them, he went for them, and it was like, okay,
I mean, the first time, it was like the very first session I joined in, because I, like, similar to this one, I wasn't there for the first few sessions.
Hmm.
And then I just rolled up with my character, and I think I like nearly crit every roll in my
Yeah.
with them. My character just came in as a total badass.
Mm.
And then we went and fought a sentinel, and I actually was like holding my own against them.
Yeah.
As Dan just got crushed immediately,
Mm.
and then we all ran away because they were way too powerful for us.
Well, the reason he got crushed was because, like, he couldn't use the one thing. Wizards don't have physical strength. You know what I mean? He couldn't use. He wasn't really wizard. He was bard, but like bardic wizard, like cross class, wasn't he? So
No, he was druid in that one.
Oh, he's a druid. Oh yeah, of course he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was trying to use his bark armor, which doesn't work when he can't use magic, which is the only armor he owned.
Yeah. And at 20th level, that's like it basically cancels everything. Apart from if you don't have it, then you're pretty much just a squishy dude. Who's
By
not
the way, is
clever.
everyone back?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go when everyone else is.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So, I'm going to whack you all on this map in 1 second. Well, when I say whack you on the map, you are on the map.
As you do.
So, Arden, you know the way out of this place is in the bottom right of this map that you're looking at right at this moment in time. Don't worry, Lochnia and Nameless, you'll be on the map momentarily. So, you know the way out to the house is in the bottom right of the screen, basically. Obviously, you can't see in front of you at this point in time. There are fires spreading throughout the forest, but there are paths that you can use to get out of there at this moment in time as well. Nameless and Lochnia, you've been stripping the dead. Taking take about 50 gold each, I would say. From the dead.
I'm not unconscious from being at -2.
No.
We're gonna have to carry him out.
That's all right.
It's gonna be like bodyguards.
So, roll a perception check for me, just to see what the hell is going on. Nameless and Lochnia. All right. Okay. Astrid points over the trees and says, "That's where Arden is. That's where the smoker's coming from. That's where we're going. Follow me." And she goes into the undergrowth. Almost disappears as soon as she goes in there.
I mean, I'm fairly comfortable with Arden's competence. I think she gets out on her own, right? Do they really need us over there?
Mom would disagree about her competence.
If it's her mom, like, she just massacred people like in a pincushion. Like, no offense, Arden, but the only time she's ever done that, she's only ever done that to Lochner. So...
No, she's done it plenty of times. To be fair, I've seen.
No, I'm memeing, but yeah.
Yes.
But a little bit.
I still don't think it's her mum.
Okay.
But anyway, I guess we follow then. Otherwise, she'll just be grumpy, and I can't bother with it.
You don't need to do anything in this campaign, though. You don't need to follow if you don't want to. It's up to
I
you.
know, but she seems like the whiny mother type, so...
More the stabby mother type, but yeah. Well,
yeah, that too.
So,
By whiny, you mean stabby.
yeah, Astrid comes in through the undergrowth and walks up to you, Arden, and says, "What the hell are you doing? What's going on?"
Androcles had a little accident.
She looks over to you as you're surrounded by burnt trees. He's just like,
Androcles is just gonna look at like a look of utter betrayal on his face. Like, we're in this together.
Oh,
Okay.
we are. She's just trying to find some.
Yeah, it's just he just stands there looking at her, just like his axe is in his hand, like trees falling all around him, and just like, eat super play.
Lochner and Nameless barrel through the trees behind you. Throw yourselves on whenever you're ready.
Still only got. Are we on a different map? So I still only got.
You should be on. You should be on a forest map at the moment.
Top right corner.
Yeah.
Just in the top right corner. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine. So, which way are we coming in from? The top.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Looks like I don't want to draw.
This is like the best thing of this campaign is watching people fail at the most basic of drawing shapes.
I mean, when it's on a trackpad, it's actually really hard.
And he does have a point there.
Yeah.
Also, half the time I think I'm making a circle and then it ends up as like this weird amorphous blob.
Oh yeah, that's because you're using the freehand button rather than the regular shape.
Supposed to hold on.
I don't know.
Yeah, you have to click.
I
It starts at it defaults to shape. So when you click on the square, the second button, it should say draw shape at the top.
Yeah,
Don't click on freehand.
I don't. I do draw shape and then it says hold Alt for circle or eclipse, but because I have a Mac, it doesn't have Alt. So sometimes I'll hit Option or Control instead of Command, and it makes like this weird freehand blob.
There he is. Okay.
All right.
I mean,
So,
to be fair, that's what you get for being on a Mac.
what would you guys like to do?
Well, is the direction of the burning thatch in the same direction the fire's going?
Yes.
Is there any way to go around and get ahead of it?
There certainly is if you're quick enough.
Why don't you use your dragon wings, whatever it is, to jump up in the air and land in the middle of another bit of forest?
You haven't seen the dragon wings. You just know that everything's suddenly on fire.
Yeah,
You don't
and
know
I've
about my
been told
dragon
it's
wings?
your fault.
You don't know about my dragon wings?
You had an accident.
You are standing like a survivor at like Hiroshima or something. Like all of the trees around you are just fucking gone.
You
Just
say
like-
survivor more like the bomb?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right at the epicenter of this explosion.
As if there were like fucking like just like the bombshell just kind of stayed intact and just kind of like, I don't know, guys.
Okay, I've had enough of this. Time to kill you all.
At least Crusher only burned down the pub.
All right.
Like we should.
I
There's
get it.
really nothing else for us to do besides heading back or killing these gray blobs that just appeared on the side of. the
So,
screen.
you know these as Draugr. You know what these are.
Oh, fuck.
These are bursting through the undergrowth and coming straight at you.
Hail of barbs, please.
Yeah. I will take them from the back if it's all the same to you if you kill them. I'm not drawing them all again.
Yeah, that's fine. And I also okay. No.
All right.
Isn't
Off
that
you
a
go.
cliff then? Aren't they coming from the cliff side?
Mm-hmm.
And then just add 8 to each of those. Oh, fuck!
I'm going to cancel
Yeah,
that entirely. That was that bad. Yeah, 3
No, I got
ones.
some hits in there.
3 ones,
See,
though.
they're not related. They're not
3
related.
ones.
Wait, what's not related?
You and your mother, like she massacred people, and you do this.
You put a bunch of arrows in the ground.
Okay, but if you add 8s to all of them, they're not that bad.
They aren't, but 3 ones, I can't.
They're
You
not
know.
pincushions, are they?
I'm going to have to say, yeah. A lot of these arrows are going wild. I would say, I'm going to be generous and say 2 of them fall down in the undergrowth. As they're wallowing over. But yeah, cool. Everyone roll initiative, please.
Great, because I actually only need pretty much 1 roll for everything now. Because everything, so initiative is +8, and my skill spear is +8.
Well, there you go.
Pretty easy.
I have 1 button for guile, ingenuity, and attraction because they're all +0.
Oh, you ma-
Oh, I got another 1, but I'm going second. Ah.
Cool.
Yeah, she gets a bonus 9 to her speed rolls now.
Yeah. Awesome.
David, I love that you know the rules of my armor better than I do. It's
I
actually
know.
great.
This is season min-maxer over there.
Yeah.
So, who's going first? I think it's Androcles, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
What would you like to do?
Well,
Don't do it again.
I can't do it again. I need to be up there to do it.
He's just going to go up there to jump off, even though there's no one there right now.
Oh, I've already burned down all the trees at this point.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start. Actually, you know what? Because of their Draugr,
Mhm.
I'm actually gonna play with Godbreaker here.
Okay.
Did you name the sword?
No, I named the
The
sword.
axe, and no, I did not.
The axe is actually in the lore. It's
Yeah.
normally it's not.
I didn't actually get into the extra rules for it, but I'm just going to.
I don't
Yeah.
think you're going to need very many. I'm just saying. Yeah, that's 1 dead.
Are there more near me that I can't see?
There are in the undergrowth. They haven't come through yet, though. So 1 is definitely dead. I'm not going to take him off because there's more to come.
I'm gonna just move up a little bit more, using one of my other actions just to move up a bit more, and
Okay.
then just continue swinging with my last action.
Reveal this, yeah. Nice. So another 1 is dead. Nice. Cool. Who goes next?
Yeah,
I have a 24.
Arden.
I don't know.
I think it's
if
Arden
have.
next, yeah.
probably Arden next.
She is going to. Let me just see if I do.
Luckily, there are several Draugr between me and her, so
She is
she's
gonna
not
use,
likely to shoot me.
By the way,
She's gonna use. Yeah.
you can leave the map in anywhere where the road goes, basically. When the road goes off the map, you can go. If you want to leave.
Don't tell Locknear that. He bailed last time.
Open up a little bit. She's gonna do rapid fire just in like this general area.
Mhm.
And how many can I fire? Oh, and any reinforced hits become critical hits.
Okay.
It doesn't give me a limit of how many.
Then there isn't one.
Oh, I get to fire at this target area until I miss.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Ooh. There you go.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 are lanced down by your bows. As Astrid comes up near to you as well, and she fires a few bows off. She'll
Another action.
go with another one of her abilities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She kills 7, so 7 more hit the deck. She's
She
firing
also
into them.
gets another action whenever she's attacking with her bow.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Arden does get
How
another
do you
action.
remember that?
Because I don't know. The only time I'm ever good at remembering anything is when I'm playing D&D, because I remember everything.
So yeah, you do get another action. What are you going to do?
Arden
With
or me?
it?
I mean, Astrid.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yes.
No, sorry, I thought you were talking about Astrid. Okay, she'll just do rapid fire again. Oh
I
wait,
don't know any of her
I can
rules.
only do rapid fire, 1 per weapon for efficiency. Okay, cool. So I can still do this.
Mm-hmm. Carry on. I'll tell you when to stop.
Is that a stop?
Nope.
It's until you miss, remember?
9 is miss. Holy fucking shit. Okay. I don't think you have this many arrows, I'm just going to say.
So while this is all like going down, I'm just gonna sit on the floor.
Fucking shit. What was that? Are you looking? Are you looking at Nameless while you're doing this? Like.
What? So no look
He
shots.
has to roll a natural 1 to miss if it's a 9. I'm gonna tell you that
I don't
right
know
now.
how many arrows that's been, but we could count it up and call
Just,
it air. Like,
just
I
keep
don't care.
going. I should give you some
empty
more.
your whole goddamn quiver right
I
now.
should give you some more.
3 nat 20s.
What
4.
time are these arrows being shot at?
Yeah. I'd say 2 at once. You know, there'll be trick shots. There'll be all sorts going on.
Doesn't work.
You can call it whenever you wish.
You tell
Which
me.
runs out of arrows.
Oh, I'll call it there with the 2. I'll call it with the 2. All right.
I got 2 more. We'll call it there.
So 5 and 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 40. Carry on. Carry on.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, at some point, both her and her mom are going to be.
How many
arrows.
20s are there going to be in this sequence?
That's 5 so far.
Yeah, and not 1-1. I'm just curious to see how long it's going to take you to stop naturally.
I don't think you brought enough Draugr.
I don't think there is this many arrows, but I just want to see how long it's going to take.
I know
Before
that,
she
like,
rolls a 1.
I have 2 quivers now that hold on my
We're here at like 4 in the mornings, like
There's
so.
another 20.
Another
There's
20.
Another 20.
Another
There's
20.
Another 20.
Fuck's sake.
At this
Hey. Okay.
I mean, I feel like at this point, like, we're behind her, like, at least her mom's behind her, like, carving arrows out of the trees.
So so 87 arrows are fired into the Draugr that hit. You run out. You run out of your. You run out of your.
Meanwhile, no one else is doing anything. It's just in one turn.
Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen like she's taken that much of a verbal pounding from Nameless and others? Have you ever seen it in the film Predator where the black dude has the massive Gatling gun that goes sick? Yeah, that's basically what she's doing with a bow and arrow. Like and just banging, firing him.
Doesn't he die in that scene? Spoiler alert.
Like,
No, Jesse
No,
Ventura
it
does.
doesn't.
Jesse
He
Ventura
does
does.
not die there.
Can Arden have been like killing people as they move forward as well?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm going to say this is you and Astrid, just to calm John's raging realism.
500 rounds a minute. The machine fire slower than that.
It's Dean's fault. He didn't put a limit on it.
No, I know. It's it's interpretive. So maybe there wasn't 87. Maybe there's just there's so many shots going in that
I mean, like, I definitely, as soon as the arrows started going around Androcles as well, he definitely hunkered down.
yeah. So both.
that was less about 87 arrows and more about Dean seeing how long it would take for a natural one. So
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to say that was such good rolling on the roll for not getting a 1 for so long that the forest here is like smashed apart by arrow fire, and you can just see waves and waves. I'm just going to show you how many Draugr there were, just to reveal the areas. So Astrid and so they're the bodies. They're lying on the floor essentially.
So hang on. So effectively, we've gone into the forest. Okay, Lochner is just casually upending trees with his axe.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Androcles setting fire to everything.
Yes.
And now entire swathes of forest are also being shot down by arrows.
Yes. Yes.
And how many Jogger are down now?
Fuck you, nature.
It feels like, for once, I think we're all getting our little bit of nameless out of our system.
I think it's like 27 to 30, yeah. All in all.
I'm feeling fairly mild compared to you guys now.
I know. This is how we have been in every single session where Nameless has been doing crazy, stupid shit.
So, Arden is like panting, and Astrid just like taps you on the shoulder and nods and says, "That was good. That's good." And she looks over to the Lochner, who's just like has a look on his face, like, "How was that even?" You know, he's literally just cleared. His greatsword has just cleared its scabbard at that point, and he just puts it back in. Just,
He's enough home. He's had enough. Trees doesn't need to be there really, so he's just gonna fuck off home. You guys have got it all in hand.
This is the look on Androcles' face as he gets up after these arrows have just like fucking flown over him it's like a swarm of bats.
Alright, so what are you guys looking to do?
You clear out the dead one?
I'm half dead. I'm fucking pointless. I'm going home. Going back to the
This is Lochner right now.
yeah. I'm not going to bed now, and I'm knackered.
Alright, man, no worries. Alright, I'll speak to you a bit later on.
Oh, he went off pretty fast.
Okay.
Did he actually just straight up leave?
I think so, yeah. Right, so where are we heading here? Okay, cool. So, where would you guys like to go at this point?
How many of these guys are dead? How many are still
All
alive?
of them.
They're all dead.
Oh, okay, then let's just go home.
What about the cabin?
The fire.
I mean, are we gonna try to get around it? No. Are we just giving up on helping?
What happens, happens.
I also have a bit of a question.
Mm-hmm.
How do we even find our way home, given that you just burned, chopped down, shot with arrows, all the landmarks?
I'm guessing you're just going to walk in the vague direction that you came, but
Away from the fire.
yeah, exactly.
My job here is done.
So
Okay, cool. We found our way home.
so are you looking to do anything else, or are you?
Wouldn't we go to the burning thatch house
Yeah,
thing?
that's what I was asking.
I thought
We
that's
have to
where
hurry.
Nimbus was, with the girl burning on the cross.
We just came from there, that's right.
If
Mm-hmm.
it came from that way, the fire's set down that way, isn't it?
It's going down. It's going down that way. Yeah.
Maybe we should
Yeah.
go there anyway, because we don't know why she was, like, crucified. And she might have had shit in her shack, like a dragon or something, you know.
You just feel like you need to kill a dragon as well.
I
Feeling
mean,
left out. Yeah,
I have to
you're feeling
wake
a
them
little-
up, so...
Anyway, so are we heading towards the burning patch? Yes.
Yeah, let's do it, let's do it.
Okay, we're heading towards the burning patch.
Okay. So eventually, after a little while, all four of you,
Three of us
Including-
got me fucked off home.
well, yeah, but
Or
Astrid's
because
also
of Astrid.
here,
Oh, right, okay.
and Bjorn is also there.
And
You-
so are 10 archers.
yes, who
We've done nothing.
basically are
Just
in
been feeding arrows.
awe at this moment in time. You guys come to what would be a clearing after getting through most of the brush. You can't go any further because of the fire, but you do see a clearing to your left, which seems to be clearing out into some sort of courtyard.
I
Okay.
guess we're going out.
Through.
Okay, so you push forward into the courtyard, and in front of you, you can actually see it's kind of like frosted over, and kind of quite cold here. It's really quite cold, and you do see there are several dozen bodies of people from Kalesbridge, all lying on the floor, and they do seem, reasonably dead. And in the middle of this clearing, which has a lot of icy mist working around it, there is a statue of what looks like an incredibly heroic man, standing with a two-handed sword, swinging it. And on the other half of the statue, you can see a massive dog jumping towards him. It looks like a wolf-type creature, all in stone. All in stone.
Are there any wells or glowing red lights nearby?
No.
Okay, so I can't jump in any wells. Any holes?
No.
Is there any inscriptions on the statue?
Okay, head over there and do a perception roll for me. You can see anything?
No.
No. Alright, so Arden, you can see that there is no inscription, but in the eyes of the dog and in the eyes of the warrior are set glowing rubies.
Ooh.
That seem to be interlocked. Like they seem to be looking at each other. So it's almost like two warriors with like locked eyes, and they're,
Does it look like we could steal the rubies?
Oh, I don't see why not.
Okay, this is going to be kind of... no, you know what? Arden wouldn't... I don't think her character would do that right now, but she might put it out there.
Mm-hmm. You also have no arrows left. I'm going to say this.
Yeah. She's got a sword.
I'm going to see the look at the rubies
Mm-hmm.
that Arden has just done before the shake of their head going, no, I shouldn't do that. I'm just going to do it.
Okay. So as you pop out one of the rubies, the statue sort of grumbles beneath your feet as you jump up there. Are you going to continue plucking out the rubies, or is it going to be like, oh, well, guess I'll take one, or are you going to...
I mean, that's fairly normal, right? I'm a heavy guy. Of course it's going to rumble.
Okay.
So
Androcles is going to have Godbreaker ready just in case, because something bad is going to happen.
Arden's going to take several steps back.
yeah,
Okay.
don't stand on any like platform areas.
Okay.
Because there may be holes underneath.
So as you take the other eye into your hand, the statue crumbles into dust and you fall to the ground, taking 2 points of damage, normal damage, not aggravated. Okay. And the dog actually crumbles into nothingness as well. And below you, have you both played Skyrim? I know, Alana, you haven't, but have you both played Skyrim? Just so I can at least,
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Okay. So there is a point in the game where there's a staircase that goes down into like a portal. Yeah, it sort of goes like all the way down to a portal. That's what happens here. The floor breaks away. So, Nameless, you're going to have to roll a speed check for me. It's going to have to be a bloody good one as well. To jump away from this falling floor that's going into apparent nothingness.
Jump down anyway, to be honest. Sure, let's do
You can elect to not do it if you want. You can just go down.
There we go.
Alright, yeah, you're in the hole, which is where you want it to be anyway. So as soon as that happens, that he falls into this, it looks like he clatters down the stairs into this white light, which then fizzles and he disappears. And Arden and Androcles, you're standing looking at this.
Say, go save him with those wings.
And I'll look at her and I think I might pick her up and we'll head down or pick her up and let's head down the stairs.
Cool. So, as you go in, you are surrounded by white light, and it seems like something's forcing itself against you. It actually hurts quite a bit. Like it doesn't. It's not accepting you. It's something like pushing you back.
this happening to everyone?
No, not to you. You fell, so your full body weight went behind it.
I broke through it.
Yeah.
I mean, can we? I think I might go for the jump then, if it feels like it's pushing.
Okay. All right. So you jump straight in, and your feet slam down into what appears to be a dark, cacophonous space. So quite a large space. Let me just.
And is Androcles still hanging on to Arden at this point? or
Yes,
no?
I would
I
say
mean-
so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Bit of that. Cool. So, I'll whack that because we don't need that anymore. Lovely.
I feel sorry for our men. They're just like,
Just outside. What? Where have they gone now? Okay. So, you can
I
find
recognize this music.
on the floor. You can all the way around you. You can see hundreds of dead Draugr, but there are also around 20 from that you can count straight away who immediately rush you as you come through the gate. Everyone
This
roll.
would be nameless
Arden's
up
gonna
first, yeah.
pull out her. Arden's gonna pull out her sword.
I'm about to say, don't you dare say bow, because
No.
cool.
Yeah, no, I
Wouldn't
will
roll now.
take God. I will take Godbreaker and just stand in front of her and just get ready to start healing.
Okay,
Ooh.
so initiative, right?
Yep. +4 for them. That's 20.
Arden is taking a step back. She's not gonna fight this round because she only has a level 2 in swords.
Okay.
I mean, they can still stab you. You can hide behind someone. You might want to be able to go first and hide.
Nameless, you'll be going first.
Cool.
Arden can go first if she wants to.
Do I
She's just
s-
gonna try to move back a bit and take some cover for a little bit.
Okay.
Am I supposed to be seeing a map for this?
Nope.
Okay.
We weren't supposed to be here.
Are they all in a line?
No, they are not all in the line.
I've got to ask.
It's important.
That's okay. Cool. So one goes down. As you punch through his face with your spear, one Draugr falls to the ground. Its frozen flesh split apart by the end of the spear. All right, who's next? Arden is not doing anything.
They are.
All right, so
I only rolled an 11.
and D20. These will be on nameless. So, oh, that's not very good. Miss. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's your armor?
16, I want to say.
All right, 4.
One dude's rolled a 1 as well.
Yeah, so that's 4 damage for normal damage.
Give me a second. So I took how much before? Was it 2?
Yes.
6.
Yes.
And remind me again how hit points work.
Uh,
How many hit points per vitality point do you get?
I think it's
2 plus, and then you start with a base of 2.
yes.
Right. Okay. So it's so I've got 8. So that's fine. I'm good.
Okay.
I still have 2.
Anything more than none.
There will be another 10. Another 9. Sorry. One is dead. Another 9 on Androcles.
Oh wait, I forgot. So, whoa.
What?
Because I have a special rule on my armor.
Yes.
Which
But you
means-
rolled a 2 though to do that, didn't you?
No. That's different.
Oh, okay.
It's I have the armor roll where I roll a d6 after any damage is taken, and on the roll of a 6, it negates all the damage.
Okay.
So incoming natural 1, but you know you never know.
Incoming natural.
Unlucky.
So close.
So 5 hits go in there on Androcles. What is your armor, Androcles?
15 or 16 because I would have had it oiled by now.
Ooh, so only 6 normal damage in on you then. After all that.
That's some hard hits.
Yep. Well, they never actually got to hit you in the last session, so this is how hard they hit.
Yeah. I just threw them off the cliff and then they got shot.
Exactly. So, let's do initiative again. They will be getting an 8 this time around.
Oh, I haven't attacked yet.
Oh, go for it. They'll get on 8 for next time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start whapping at them with the Godbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 attacks.
Mm-hmm. All right. 1 immediately down. I would say 2. Yeah. So 2 are hewn down by the Godbreaker axe. They just they flash freeze and just break apart as you hammer into them. All right. So they got an 8. Everyone roll initiative. Nice. Nice. And
Fucking off for a bit.
sorry.
Arden's still just hanging out in the back.
Okay. I will
You
roll.
can't stab around us.
Whoops. Sorry. I will roll for.
She
Okay.
just took care of all the other Draugr. Give you guys a turn.
Cool. So Astrid will be going first.
Oh,
And-
she's joined us then.
Mm-hmm. And she has 8 arrows left, so she may as well just throw them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 Draugr go down. Hammered down. So there are 13 left. Okay. Who's next?
You can go ahead if you want.
Yeah, sure, why not? Let's just... There we go.
2.
That's 3 dead.
3 dead. Yeah. So you start hammering into Draugr, and they start falling, screaming onto the floor. So 10 left. We'll do 5 with Nameless.
Oh, I haven't attacked yet.
Isn't it them first? Oh no, it's you first. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to double check something. Damn, I got the chain lightning, but it only works when I'm using 2 weapons. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just going to do 3 attacks with my Godbreaker.
Oh Jesus. Okay. I'm going to double that. So 6 with a 20. That's fine. So 6 go down. There are 4 left. 2 will go into Nameless. They'll both miss, and 2 will go into. They both miss. So one more round. Okay, they got 22 this time. Nice.
Good.
And please will go first. Any natural 20 will send. No. Okay, cool. 2, 3 dead. I think there's only 1 left.
Does the mom have a sword or a bladed weapon?
No, she's gonna hang back because she yeah. No, roll D20. Okay. Who would like to?
And cut his head off on my axe.
Who would like to? Who would like to take out this poor fool?
I mean, it's Nameless. Nameless is after me, so.
Yeah. So he swings at you, and you just step to the side and just punch. You don't even contemptuously. You don't even use your spear. You just get a dagger out and slam it into the side of his head, and take it out again.
Just so I am aware, do I know what these? What are they called again?
Draugr, do you care what they are?
No, well, I mean, I don't know if I know what they are. Like, I don't even know what they are. So,
Yeah.
just my character. Have I seen them? 'Cause I wasn't. I
You
didn't fight them
have
before.
never seen them before. No. So, yeah.
He, like in the same that our characters, he'd probably have heard of them at some point, right?
Yeah.
What
I
are
mean-
they? Are they fish people or what?
No, these are essentially frosted over zombies, essentially.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, they are now dead on the floor. So, as you have a second to take in the space around you, it is almost limitless all the way around you. You can't see a ceiling. You can see the long frosted over bridge that you are on, but you can't see anything beyond that. The bridge is illuminating the space around you, and so you're attacked so quickly as you step through the portal that you don't realize you could have easily have misstepped and gone over the side of this thing without even noticing. And there seems to be a very large, almost another courtyard space, several hundred feet into the distance. And there seems to be other parts of this almost realm around you that are, you can see on the right hand side there seems to be a rather large space echoing off into the distance with thoroughfares cut into snow and ice where what looks like forlorn souls are marching forward in single file lines, all connected together by chains, and above them are what look like angels flying around, but these are angels in full armor that are flying and slamming into the tops of almost mountainous peaks, looking down onto these forlorn souls. And they're doing that on either side. They haven't noticed you yet, but they seem to be singing as well. But they're singing in raucous female voices as they're flying around.
I'm going to suggest that Arden sings back.
Arden shoot Nameless a dirty look and say, "You know I don't sing. You go for it."
Okay, sure. I'll sing a, I don't know, war chanty song.
Andrew Place is going to suggest, I imagine futilely at this point, that maybe we don't want them to notice us.
They're angels. Angels are good, and I'm going to continue to sing.
Okay.
Didn't all the gods get killed? Aren't they messengers of the gods that we rebelled against?
Let's just
I imagine this is like a whisper, shouted conversation. Like,
Yeah, definitely like loud whispering. Andrew Cleese is gonna get ready to grab Arden and book it.
Okay, I love how you've become her ride at this point. Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
we're leaving.
She doesn't seem to have, to be
Wings.
moving on her own.
She doesn't seem to have wings.
She doesn't have wings. B, when things get, start moving, she seems to be just standing there a lot of the time. So,
oh, no arrows, cuz. Thank you. She appreciates it.
1 second.
Guys, when has any of my impulsive actions ever caused an issue?
have they ever not caused an issue?
The story would be 10 times more boring if I didn't do these things.
More boring, but more controllable.
Oh wait, no, I thought you meant it'd be more boring. I thought you meant it'd be more boring if there weren't huge consequences, which is true.
A bit of chaos is always good.
I just think it's funny how the small actions can have these huge, epic consequences.
I mean, in his defense, I just threw myself off a cliff out of Dragon. Twice.
So
I have wings now. But...
Are we gonna be sneaky, or are we singing at these women?
Oh, I'm singing. I'm properly singing, bellowing out,
He's not-
arms out in front of me,
That's where you are.
really projecting my voice.
Please draw yourselves here.
Lochner would be proud. He would definitely be singing with me.
There we go. Now I go.
Alright. So, at the sound of your singing, a few of them look to you, you can sense. And they come streaming towards you.
Did they look murdery?
They don't look happy. They slam into the rock here. And they begin talking. You all speak Valkyr, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they begin talking in broken Valkyr. Ancient Valkyr, almost. And everyone needs to roll... Actually, no, not yet. Not yet. So, what are you doing?
What do we hear them saying?
So do you speak Valkyr?
If we all worked as mercenaries, I'd say we all pretty much understand it and probably have a basic.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I absolutely speak it properly.
So these four like lower their wings, and they're saying things like, "You are not dead. You are not supposed to be here." And then another one just laughs and says, "We could change that, though."
Arden's gonna kind of like step forward a bit and kind of her head and just say, sorry, did not mean to come here. We didn't mean to come here.
I mean, if we're not supposed to come here, why is there a giant staircase? Like, that's just an entrance.
One of them does look up the way behind you, and flies over to it, and just looks at it, and she reports. She just shouts back to her fellows, something you don't quite understand. Well, you get the word trespassers comes across.
I'll turn towards the others and say we should probably go.
Do I need to sing a better song? Were they angry about the song?
I'm guessing that wasn't the issue.
I don't know, they look pretty angry when
Maybe
they flew over.
can we just like kind of like, you know, have our hands up like, yes, we're leaving, kind of slow, like backing away?
I think we're definitely trying to back away. Doesn't seem like that's an option at this point.
Now she's standing on the stairs, looking down at you all, and they seem to be having an argument with each other.
I'm gonna say in fault here that we're sorry for our trespass. We'll leave your realm immediately.
And then you sort of hear and talk to each other, and then in like raspy, hoarse voices, and then one of them says directly to you, and when you look into her eyes, they're completely black, and it almost looks like you ever see a mummified face in ancient Egypt? It almost looks like that. And she basically, the feeling inside of your chest just drops, and she says, "If you could come here, others could come here." And she shakes her head and says, "Only the dead may come here, the honoured dead who have not died in battle, or, in your case, the foolish."
We can destroy destroy the path in and prevent others from coming this way.
She shrugs and says, "This path was not of your making. I believe I know who made this one." And she basically turns to go away, starts walking away. These women are about 8-9 foot tall, so they're looking down on you. They're rather large.
So it's a bit rude to turn your backs.
She turns around and looks at you and says, "What did you just say?"
Cover his mouth, or try to.
I mean, I'll just mumble through the mouth, I guess. Whether it's intelligible, I don't know.
Alright, so the angel, quote-unquote, behind places a hand on your arm, Androcles, and just lifts it clear of Nameless's mouth.
I mean, it'd be rude for me not to, like, she asked me a direct question.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'll say it lacks respect to turn your back on someone.
And he's placing a face palm with his other hand.
No.
Okay, one more.
That's a natural 200. And a natural one.
Another 200.
Okay, so at that she laughs. She laughs and nods and says, and she says, almost like she respects what you said, and then she hurls a spear at you. Please roll a speed check, and it better be good. It better be in that 20, or we're looking at things not going well.
It's gonna be good.
Oh, you got that section point.
There you go. Easy.
It's going to slam into your chest. It actually
roll much better than that.
It actually I'd said nat 20, so it actually goes through the air and bends around to hit you. It goes around everybody like a missile.
Okay.
Remember how session points work. You can use session points to convert anything into a natural 20 or get away with the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You do have 2.
First of all, remember my armor has a special rule. Come on, that's 6.
Okay.
Yeah!
so,
and
Yes.
it'll bounce off my chest, and I'll look at her and just wink.
So,
Yes.
she swears in Falkia, and everyone needs to roll initiative, please.
Can Arden just run up and be like, wait. This doesn't. We don't need to start fighting. Can we just talk?
You can do that on your turn.
No, I mean, does that stop
Sure.
anything?
Roll initiative, see if you can do it before.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, so yeah, you are going to get to do that.
She's going first.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna go step forward and say, please excuse our friend. He doesn't know when to shut his mouth. Please, we really don't need to start fighting right now. Let's just discuss.
Can I just calculate the damage of the last attack?
Yeah,
just to
How
have
much
a
damage did he just not take?
5. This is aggravated. Okay, so 225 aggravated damage it would have been. So
I'm invincible.
roll a guile check for me,
Does
please.
he know his armor does that, or does he actually think he's invincible?
I think he just thinks he's invincible, to be honest. I didn't say you have to activate it, I think it just happens. So, Arden, roll a guile check for me.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Okay. They refuse that, and they get a plus... No, not 30. Yeah, 22. Plus 22.
You could do stuff.
Oh, shit. So that's 42.
You could do stuff.
What if I use the session point? Would that make them stop and talk with us, or no?
Ooh. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll do that.
So, they don't stop and talk to you. They immediately charge you. And just as their blades, just as their weapons, their spears and their swords are coming down upon you, they freeze in midair.
So we'll make our run for it.
The gate behind you, the gate behind you is not lit up anymore. It's not there.
I like the fact that they've just frozen, and I already feel pretty invincible, having just had this spear thrown at my chest. I'm intrigued as to why they just froze and they didn't carry on with their arrow. I'm feeling like we're kind of immune to them in some way.
Let's find out. Let's find out from afar
Yeah.
and suggest that they're running to the nearest portal light. It isn't where all the dead people are.
Surrounded.
I mean, is that light there?
Well, you pass through the souls as you walk past them, and they're all marching. You can't enter into the doors where they're going into. Like you literally are repulsed by it. Yeah, that's closed.
One of the doors they're coming from?
Again, you can't enter in.
Is there any way to open the portal on this end, like with the rubies?
Do a perception check for me.
I completely forgot about the rubies.
Let me just see what.
Got so carried away with being invincible.
You can always rely on Nameless to poke things and move the plot along.
Yep.
No, nothing. You can see past everyone now, actually, when I'm thinking about it.
What?
You can see past those
What's
when
going
I'm
on
thinking about it.
What's going on there? That doesn't look friendly.
Going on there? Yeah, is it friendly people?
You can't really see it. There is almost like a heat haze, even though it's deathly cold here.
They have much of a choice. Where
We
Is
know
it
where else to
Crusher?
go.
Has Crusher arrived?
He does
Shall
have
we?
an actual name now.
Yeah, I'm still going to call him Crusher.
I figured you would.
Yeah.
I guess we're going this way because I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
I guess I'll follow them, and as I follow them, I'll turn back and blow a kiss.
I don't think... Yeah, okay. So, as you get to this clearing, there are what looks like 2 statues here. Okay. So you see a man with a greatsword swinging his sword towards a gargantuan wolf-like dog who's just diving towards him.
Looks a lot like the one upstairs, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Minus the rubies.
I'm going to hold on to the rubies for now.
There is a fire in between them that is burning an ethereal orange and blue glow across them.
Do we recognise this figure?
If you saw, you will, because you were on the statue outside. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean,
Okay.
like, the who it represents. Do we know?
How clued up would you be on? No, not as an Achaean. No.
What about as a Valkyr?
He looks like, in fact, he looks like Ares to you. A representation of Ares would definitely suit this description. And Androcles, yeah, like a warlike god or something like that, like a warlike warrior of some description.
Are there any descriptions?
No.
down here?
No. And as you get closer to him, you can look. This is actual flesh and bone. This is not a statue.
So, do you want me to put the rubies in his eyes?
Does he have eyes?
He's not breathing.
Or does he have
Oh,
eyes?
yeah, it's going to bring him to life.
He has
Can
eyes.
I put the rubies in his eyes?
He already has eyes, but you can certainly try.
Actually, I could replace them. I mean, we could do that and then move them so they're looking at each other longingly, like the statue upstairs.
I mean, we can just try to reposition them so they look like the statue upstairs. Fuck it.
So let's try that.
I'm gonna move the
So-
dog to the position to match the one upstairs.
I'm not replacing their eyes.
As you do it, they're already in that exact position,
Oh.
and you cannot move him. Like this is
Anything else around the room?
no, just the flame in the middle.
Is there anything ruby
Is the
socket?
flame hot?
No, it is cold, deathly cold, almost freezing cold.
Does there seem like any place where 4 gemstones or 2 gemstones could go?
Do a perception check. No.
I'm gonna see if I can find any clues as to how we're supposed to get out of here. So I'm gonna do my own perception check.
Cool.
18.
All right. So you can see the tendrils of the flame, almost at the haze from the fire, is enveloping very slightly both subjects here.
Can I try to put out the fire?
Sure. What you're trying to use?
I think, is there like burning logs, or is there something that's burning in there?
There's nothing you can see that's causing the flames.
I'm gonna take Godbreaker in my
Mhm.
left arm
Mhm.
and give it a little flash through the fire.
As soon as you do that, the hound comes flying through the air. Okay, it's going to move this for a second. Goes flying through the air and lands as it jumped and begins snarling. And the god takes a massive swing. The god-sized man. Both of you, Arden and Androcles, have to roll a speed check to duck out the way of the sword as it's coming around. As he was in mid-swing. Yeah, you're fine, Androcles. You're also fine. So you guys dive backwards out the way. You're fine. So, he steps backwards and notices you all standing there. And he just looks shocked. He's about 10 foot tall. And he looks very, very, very shocked. And almost in front of you, he starts shrinking down to around about 6'4", 6'5". And he looks at
about our size.
Yeah, he looks at the dog, which dives towards him, and he rolls out the way over here. And the dog is now here. Everyone roll initiative for me. Sure.
Yeah.
But once you roll initiative.
I want to hit that dog. That evil dog.
I want to pet this.
6-15 for him. All right. Who's going first? I think it's Arden first.
Okay,
Right.
before we start, I'm just going to put it out there. We don't know who the good guy in this situation is. Is it going to be the goodest boy or the boy?
It definitely looks like a murder boy. I mean, it's not a dog. It's definitely like a murder wolf, right?
Well, does the dog seem like it wants to kill us?
Yes.
Oh, well, in that case,
Is that video nameless?
Oh, is there a video? Let's have a look.
I just like.
Perhaps. What would you like to do?
me.
It is you.
Arden's gonna pull out her sword and just kind of like get in a stance ready for when if this dog turns around and starts coming at us.
Okay.
That's the stats.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Anyone else?
I guess it's me, yeah. I'm gonna hit it with an axe.
Cool.
With a Godbreaker.
Mhm.
I think it's an appropriate time to bring him out.
Yeah, it does not enjoy that. It flinches away and staggers over here. Who goes next? I think it is the dog.
Nameless rolled a 16.
Nameless next then.
Oh, did we roll for Astrid?
She's not going to do anything. She hasn't got any other weapons apart from a bow and arrow.
Okay, so I'm assuming I'm right next to it, so I don't have to roll for a range. So I'm going to throw my spear at it first.
Cool. It does hit.
And it does my might plus whatever normal damage my spear does, which would be the middle one, I guess.
Yes.
16 superficial plus my might, which is 6. So, oh no, sorry, because the plus 6 is actually aggravated.
Okay.
So it's 16 superficial and 6 aggravated, and it's all AP 5.
Cool. So it staggers forwards. Not happy in the slightest. Who's next?
Do I not get more attacks?
You do, if you have any.
Yeah, I do.
He's only another one.
So, in that case, yeah, I'm gonna keep throwing my spear like a machine gun. I'm inspired by Arden's arrows. my spear comes back though. Ooh!
Okay.
There it is.
How much damage is that altogether?
So, is it the middle one for the first, or?
Yes.
Okay, so that would do the same damage as before. So that would be was it 16 superficial and 6 aggravated with AP 5, and then this one would do. Does a crit actually do any extra damage?
You'd add your stat, your relevant attack stat to the damage.
Oh, okay. So in that case, for the crit, I get 18 aggravated plus 6 aggravated plus 8 aggravated AP 5.
Nice. So yeah, it's unhappy. Very unhappy at this point in time. But as you can see, wherever you're hitting holes in it, light is shining through. Almost like a dull light, if that can make any sense. Almost like a sickly light. Anyway, who's next?
Like a black light.
Yeah.
Well, it's the dog's turn, I think.
Okay. Yeah, he's
or
going.
did the dude go? Has the god gone?
He's not next. So the dog's going to turn around and go where the where the pain's coming from.
Oh, it was Androcles. I'm going to point at him.
So the dog just sees you pointing in the opposite direction as it jumps towards you. 4d 20. It's 4. That is 12 aggravated damage after your armor.
My roll d6 save here, because otherwise I'm screwed. Come on. God
No.
damn it.
So Androcles is out. Nameless is out of the fight. I'm guessing now.
Yes, I am.
There's a -1 to your vitality, unfortunately. The dog will turn around. He has technically killed someone. Not dead, but technically killed someone. So he gets another turn. He hasn't had any attacks from Arden yet, so he's going to go towards... that is... 8 and 4. That's 12 aggravated damage. And that will be 8 aggravated damage after your armor as well.
Okay. There's what is it? The special rule for heavy armor. I didn't actually have it up. I usually do. That lets me help prevent some of this damage. Where's I gotta find the right. Da-da-da-da-da. Where's armor? Where's armor? It's all the way at the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. Heavy. If Juggernaut save. After I take a damage, roll d20 on 15 plus. I have the damage that's made past the armor.
Nice. It could be 4 if you roll. Never mind. It is 8 aggravated damage.
Okay. I took 6 before. I might have to use a session point to save that because.
Okay.
I took 6 before, so that puts me down.
Cool.
So I guess I'm gonna have to burn one.
If you burn a session point, I will give you 1 attack. If it is in the upper band of attacks, as in 18 plus, with modifiers, I will let you do something special.
Okay.
Regardless, you're avoiding damage.
Yeah, I'm burning that session point.
Okay.
See what happens.
Exactly.
18 plus, right?
Yeah. So, the dog slams into you and has you in its mouth, and bounds over this way. Okay. Over here. But as it's coming into you, you get the Godbreaker axe and you slam it into the side of its skull, embedding your axe deep inside of its skull, and you power the power of the storm through the axe, and it freezes its brain on the inside, and it just drops to the ground, dead with you in its mouth as it's about to chomp down and end your life.
I'm just gonna carefully extricate myself from this rather sticky situation.
Yes.
I might grab a couple of teeth on the way out. I need more trophies.
The man staggers over to Nameless and basically puts a hand on his temple and wakes him up.
Heal my vitality, please.
You are instantly healed. He instantly heals you.
Oh, okay. But I've still permanently lost that vitality.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. No worries. I will nod in gratitude, I guess.
So this man.
He's just gonna point at the dead dog.
This man's standing around 6'5". He has long, flowing blonde hair. He's very, very well built, and he has a rather large sword in his hands that he walks over to the fire and sees it's gone out, and he looks around and says, "Who are all of you?"
Like as I've yanked out one of the teeth from this wolf.
You're gonna say what? Sorry.
As I've yanked out one of the teeth from this, like the canines from this wolf, and be like, "We're the Outlanders," and apparently we're in the wrong place at the right time.
He just gives you a quizzical look and says, "The what?" And he's speaking the similar language to the to the angels that you saw before.
Arden's gonna ask, "What's your name?"
He says, "Tia."
Shit. No, she doesn't know that, but I know that. Sorry.
Yes, but does Androcles know that name?
Yes. And he looks over and says, "The moat you were looking at there is called Garma."
Androcles is like, as he's like pulled out these teeth, and he's like getting ready to put them on his armor as like trophies. He's just gonna like kind of takes a pause because he heard the name, but he was still kind of like doing this stuff. Then he looks at the wolf, looks back at him, looks back at the wolf, and then just kind of goes wide-eyed.
Hmm. He says, "How goes the war? Never mind that. How goes the war?"
Do you mean
I'm really confused. If someone could shed some light on what's going on here.
The war's over. It has been for a long time.
He just says, "For how long?"
So you said it was the year 888?
Yeah, about
last time?
yeah. He
Now
just
the year 888, as we're counting since the war.
he puts his hands on his knees. Says, "That long?" And he says, "Who won?"
This is gonna be really awkward since he's God. But listen, the dragons.
Says, "There weren't all dragons, you know." And he walks over to Garma and kicks it. There's some of them beasts like this hunted us down. He just shakes his head, and he looks over to Nameless and says, "That's one of Ares' people, isn't it?"
Because he's not quite sure if this is going to end really poorly or not.
So I'll just puff out my chest and say yes.
He nods and says, "Well, my thanks to all of you. Can you get me home?"
Don't know that we can. We are trying to find our own way out.
I have a lovely place you could stay, like, indefinitely.
He nods and says, if the world is as you say it is, I may be having to take you up on that offer. But if we can be free of Helheim anytime soon, I would also be grateful."
Do you
And
have
that's
any idea
another
how to
word
get out of here?
And that's another word Androcles is going to recognize, I assume.
Yes.
Like, yeah, the land of the dead is no place for the living. And I'm going to point towards the portal where we came from. That is where we've come down. We were
Yeah.
accosted by the Valkyrie.
Lochner went back to get some ropes. He
You-
likes to do that.
You came in via Thor's Wood, yes? That was my...
It's no longer called that, but
I'm not sure there's a wood left.
there's plenty of trees left.
He says, the war couldn't have ended that quickly. We were so close. And then he looks back to the things over here. He says, I won't be able to keep the Valkyries frozen like that for much longer. We should probably leave.
I'll put my arm around him and just assure him that he's very welcome in my indefinite staying place.
And Arden will just ask, do you know how to get out of here? We'll follow you.
Follow me. And he stalks past you. He pats the hand that Nameless laid on him, says thank you, and walks past him. As you get to the top here, wherever you go, the walls seem to light up with a mural on either side of this man as he's walking. Okay. And over here you can see that Tyr is looking over all of this. And he says, this is what I came here to try and find. And he's looking up and down, and it says, he's like tracing it with his finger. You can see there is the first slide has a god with like glowing eyes that are racing outwards, like he's seeing everything, and a load of giants, and they're carving these murals, which basically shows you who's making these murals all over the place, basically all over the tombs. So that should give you some sort of you know, to Alana's comment there. There we go. There's a reason.
Oh no, I'm having fun.
Mm-hmm. And you can see
Like your mural scene.
you can see the gods on one side being cast down by the dragons, and Tyr, seeing that, sort of his face just drops because you can tell he wasn't really believing what you'd said, because at the end of the day you're mortals, and why the hell should he believe you? But then now he's seen like the mural here.
Like
It was-
we're both wearing dragon teeth.
Oh, Arden would have left us back home. Out of game, were the gods overthrown because they were like cruel?
You were led to believe so, yes.
Okay,
That's what the stories say.
so Arden's just gonna ask, why were you looking for these murals?
Mimir told me they told the future. And he looks up and down them and says, he follows the events with his hand. And you can see the rise of the Riemann Empire there. You can see Sarpedon's conquests of the East and basically the whole world. You can see Arthur's life. And finally, a chill goes through Androcles' spine as you can see the sleeping god with tentacles rising out of the sea. And he's claiming what looks like a dark child from a weeping mother before the age of men ends. And beyond this, there's nothing. And he says,
Yeah, Androcles kind of freezes as he's looking over that.
Tyr just shakes his head and says, I want to leave. I want to go.
Yes, so do
Kind of
we.
shake himself out, and then he'll actually kind of, just start heading forward.
Mm-hmm. As you guys get into the middle of the Valkyries, immediately as one, they break free. And they hurl themselves at Tyr. His greatsword whips out and impales the one on the right, whilst he holds up his left hand and freezes the other three in place. All three are now frozen, and he carefully pulls his sword free and says, even with my powers, I can't handle 2 of these women alone, never mind 4. We need to go. And he walks straight past them.
Follow.
You're gonna follow and leave.
Androcles is not going to argue with one of his gods.
He puts his sword away and like takes out a little knife and cuts his palm and smears it on the gateway, which now opens up again. And he disappears into it.
I'm out.
Yeah.
If Arden isn't immediately following, Androcles is going to pick her
No,
up and get going.
He's already up there. We're all, I think, going through.
Okay.
I'm gonna harem a god. I'm happy.
Do you even know he's a god yet?
I mean, from
I mean,
everything
no,
he says, we
given,
know
like,
he's
the
lived an awfully
context.
long time.
Yeah,
we
given
know
the
it-
context.
Has Nameless put 2 and 2 together? Is my question.
I think he probably would guess, would he not? Given the murals and everything.
So
And he referred to.
He's not a stranger to murals. We've
So-
seen a few.
on
He
the
also referred to Nameless as one of Ares' people. So
Yeah, that's true as well.
So on the outside, he breathes in the air and lets it out again. and you can see that the golden glow to his skin dissipates. It just leaves, like, straight away. And he just sort of sags, and his hair gets a lot more white than golden blonde. And he says, feel different. And just, like, rolls his shoulders.
I'm gonna mention to him that, magic does not exist in the world as it did before.
He takes a few steps and sort of collapses onto one knee and starts breathing heavily.
I will give one of my gods a hand. Yes.
And he takes your hand and he just staggers to his feet, tries to get to his feet, and says, I need to rest. Take me somewhere to rest, please.
I've got very comfortable
Rest,
beds.
nameless. To rest.
I have very comfortable beds.
And I guess we'll take him back to the keep at this point, because I don't know what else to do.
Okay, you guys go walking out of the forest.
Has Arden's mom
Still on fire,
reacted
by
at
the
all to this?
She's just stayed quiet, admiring, but staying quiet. And she's behind you, and she just catches Arden's eyes and just like blow. And she's looking at the god's backside and just like blows air out of her cheeks, nods. And that's when we'll finish the session this time around.
Is the forest still on fire?
Forest is still on
I
fire.
mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's the Kale Bridge section that's on fire. Right
There will be consequences. We'll go over that next time. But yes, that is the end of the session. So,
If anyone asks, one of the dragons managed to fly past and set it on fire.
And I'm gonna sleep with a god.
yeah. So-
There's no one alive who knows differently except for us.
Yeah, I mean, it should raise other questions as well. Like, if one god's alive, then
Right.
Oh my god, I've built the perfect place for them to all congregate. We should collect them like Pokemon. So I can Pokemon.
Yeah.
You brought this on yourself, Dean.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to get to the point in the story where I generally don't need any of you anymore. And I'm just gonna.
It's just kind of hanging out as your gods fight your dragons.
I'm just gonna be like, no, I would never do that. I'd never do that. Like, it's all about you guys. But I can't wait to get to the point where by your stories I've concluded, where I can just go, the next person to stick their hand in the fucking thing I told them not to stick their hand in. But no, I'm only kidding.
Yeah.
I would kill you now, like I almost did there. If something like happens where it's like, well, sorry. But yeah, it's
I learned today that angels aren't good.
yes.
And that angels are not angels.
Not when the Valkyries, no.
Well, those are the Valkyrie,
Yeah.
not the angels.
Yeah.
Which
didn't
I
hear
thought was
Valkyries
supposed to
until
be
after.
beautiful maidens, but
No, not in this setting.
yeah.
In this
That
setting,
was awesome.
no worries. That wasn't planned at all.
Cheers, man.
Like I know last
When
time.
was that
You're
supposed to
welcome.
happen?
Well, last time you saw what happens when I plan something from A to Z. Like, I was literally like, everything in that was planned. Whereas this was like,
Yeah.
let's just go here. Let's just fucking do this. Okay, let's do this. I don't think so. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, cheers for playing, guys. I'll see you later.
Wait, do we all get session points?
Yes, you will get session points.
We survived a session. I just replaced the one that I lost.
Yeah.
Or I guess we all replaced the ones we spent.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
How many session points would I have if I hadn't spent any? Just so I know, because I
You would have had
spent it on
4,
the spear.
and now you've got 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can use 2 to get one of the abilities or raise, 2 of your ability scores.
Yes.
Maybe I'll get some more vitality.
The rules are there. Yeah, you can do that. You can get it back.
'Cause, my vitality sucks.
Yeah. Glass cannon.
Hey, everybody.
Right, I'll speak to you guys later.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Alright, so there was session... What session are we on now? there was session 5 of season 2. So thank you very, very much for watching. And again, what I planned of that session was them going into the forest and getting into hijinks. Pretty much it. I did think about ending the session when they were thinking about going back to the keep, but then I just thought that's a bit of a lame session, so I moved a bit of the story forward and plonked it in the ruins there. Again, that's what role playing is, though. It's frantically laying down tracks for the train to come rolling along, so people don't realise that it's not real. But anyway, cheers for watching, and I'll speak to you next time. I'm gonna go get a shower and I'm going to chill out. Speak to you next time.